Hello, everyone. Welcome to History with Hersapet. I'm your host, Chris, a.k.a. Hersapet. Today, we'll be continuing our discussion of the decade that was the 90s with the year 1997. The views shared on this podcast come from your everyday, ordinary people. My hope is that it'll give a unique perspective on history. For future podcasts, we'll be doing the years 1998 and 1999, closing out the decade of the 90s. We're thinking about doing another What's the Deal With podcast leaning towards What's the Deal with Psychedelics. Just going to drop that on there, so look forward to that. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated. We have a new guest on with us today. Long-time listener, first-time guest, Sly. We'll be grilling him here shortly. So
that's right.
That's right. Before we get to that, though, we're going to bring in our real good. We're going to get to our weird news of the week. This is from The Mirror, which I believe is in the UK. Some sort of like, what do you call it? A tabloid magazine from the UK, I think.
A reflective surface.
Absolutely. There's also that. But the title of the weird article here, boy believes he was reincarnated as he has a perfect memory of life as a Hollywood star. A young boy who has a perfect memory of once being an acclaimed Hollywood movie star believes that he was reincarnated as a man who died 40 years before he was born. Ryan Hammond from Oklahoma believes that he was an esteemed Hollywood movie star in a past life. The young boy made the claim back in 2015 when he was 11 years old, stating that he was the reincarnation of a man who had passed away 40 years before he was born. According to The Sun, he has vivid memories of living in Hollywood during the 1940s, and even explained in detail how he had died, claiming he remembered his heart exploding and then going towards the light. His wild claims noticeably shocked his parents and soon made national press in the U.S. as the family appeared on daytime TV multiple times. While reincarnation has never been proved by scientists, accounts of the afterlife continue to be studied at length. In his claims, the young boy stated that he was once Marty Martin, a former movie extra and a powerful Hollywood agent. The acclaimed star once lived a life of luxury in New York City with a host of famous friends and married 4 times throughout his life. He died in 1964 at the age of 61 from a brain hemorrhage. However, when Ryan was just 3 years old, he began to recall in detail of this supposed past life as Marty. The boy, who was born in 2004, told his parents, a county deputy clerk, and a police officer that he was in Hollywood when his heart exploded, and he would often wake up in the night clutching his chest and shouting "action" in his dreams. Ryan also once asked his mother to take him to Hollywood to visit his other family and made claims of owning a Rolls Royce. One evening, he even told his mom that when someone dies, they need to go towards the light to make it into the afterlife. Never heard that before. In an effort to prove that Ryan had been reincarnated, a documentary crew who had heard about the youngster set up a meeting between Ryan and Marty's daughter. When the pair met, Ryan was confused as to why the woman was no longer a girl, and they toured a number of places in Los Angeles that were associated with the former movie star. On the trip, Marty's daughter confirmed a number of the child's claims. One child psychiatrist named Dr. Jim Tucker believed Ryan and his bizarre memories. The psychiatrist has spent many years studying children who recall intimate memories, much like 11-year-old Ryan. The world just doesn't work as we think or assume it does. The cases I have examined don't come under a normal explanation of how we perceive the world, Dr. Tucker said. Over time, Ryan's memories of Marty's life began to fade, but he still shares many personality similarities with the Hollywood star, including his love for New York City and movies. And so that's the end. So
right.
Yeah, who doesn't love New York City and movies? Let's narrow that down. You know, shouts action.
Certainly love movies more than New York City, but I've never been to New York City. I could imagine that I would still love movies more than I love New York City if I ever visited New York City.
I'd say his story checks out.
Yeah, what was his name? Ryan Hammond, I believe. Yeah.
Yes, I believe 100% of everything he said.
All right, so we've got 2 out of 4.
Definitely.
I mean, I looked up 100%. I looked up Marty Martin. He did exist. So
sure.
Yeah.
I feel like the parents were just huge fans and just wanted some clout and just.
Okay. What would really make me believe this story is if this 11-year-old kid started wearing a fedora and smoking a cigar. Like, hey, Ma, get me a scotch.
Right.
Like, whoa, that's not my son.
Starts talking from he's like the 1940s.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Ah, see.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was our weird news of the week. Hopefully we'll be back with that one next episode. And right now we're going to get into our 10 questions. Little segment we do for our new guest. Our new guest today is Sly. Uh-oh, yeah. A round of applause for Sly. Yeah.
Ooh, thank you.
He hasn't done anything yet.
That's true. That's true.
Nothing.
Right.
It's just my looks. Just my.
Calm down. Calm down.
Oh.
All right. All right, we're going to get to 10 questions here. And our first question for Mr. Sly is, what is your favorite sound?
My favorite sound. Ooh. How about like a sports broadcaster, like during it's in like exciting moments. You
Okay.
know, like when they get all high pitched and they just start like freaking out on live radio or TV. Yeah.
You have
That
like
gets me going.
It is
a
exciting,
favorite
yeah.
phrase,
stuff.
like a favorite
Yeah.
like moment of like your best like call in sports, something that sticks out to you?
Not really. Just just
I-
all of them. I love them all.
I
Like
like
when
oh,
you know
come on.
Jordan takes his last shot, or
Hmm.
I know
Bob
it's not
Costas.
a real.
Yeah.
I know it's not a real life character, but like when Rocky Balboa takes out Apollo Creed, you know,
Right?
just those moments.
Yeah. I like there's the let's see. I like the ones where like I mean I love the ones you're talking about, but I really like the ones where it goes bad and the announcers are in complete
yeah.
disbelief. Like I can't believe it. I cannot believe it.
There's some
Unbelievable. Like, it's so
yeah,
upsetting.
there's a lot of hockey that happens in.
Oh yeah. But there's a football one where they like it's like this last ditch effort and they manage to pull off a touchdown and they think the game's over and I was like, I can't believe it. He's like ready to break down in tears. Oh, it cracks me up. What's your least favorite sound?
My least favorite sound.
Mhm.
Well, I don't tell a lot of people this, but because it's always the opposite for a lot of people. But silence. I don't. Yeah, I know a lot of people say silence. I love silence. Like complete silence, that would drive me insane.
Yeah, I
No.
agree.
Even if I'm laying in my bed and there's nothing going on, and like I have the pillow on my head, and I start to hear my heartbeat. I'm like, oh, that's too silent for me. It freaks me. It freaks me out.
Makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
uneasy.
But what I tell people, like my fake answer would be like squishy shoes or something like that, like wet shoes.
I mean, it's not all. That's not a
I-
pleasant sound. Yeah. I get
Yeah,
it.
that's
Yeah.
what. Isn't that what Aaron said on his 10 questions?
Is it?
Yeah, like wet
Yeah,
socks or squishy socks.
Yeah,
and
that's
shit.
Ugh.
right. Yeah.
Like a,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nasty too. But the real answer is silence.
All right. What's your favorite word? Can be in any language.
My favorite word
Mhm.
in any language. I don't know a lot of languages.
I know like
so,
curse words and others.
How about failure?
Favorite word is failure.
Yes. So like being told I can't do
Failure.
something, can't do this. You're failing at this. Failure.
Just any of the
So-
different variations of fail. Fail, failure, failing. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
anytime,
It just to me when someone says like you're a failure at this, it just makes me want to be like I
gotcha.
can do it. So
Oh, I see.
okay.
yeah.
What's your least favorite word? Hopefully it's success.
So I was gonna say success. That's so
no.
great.
Anytime
hate
and it says that
success.
that went really well, I'm like, motherfucker.
Ah, you piece of shit.
Yeah, I get mad when people say that. No. When people say 100%,
Oh, okay.
I totally agree with you, 100%, 100%.
Oh man, what if they shorten it like 100?
Yeah, 100%. I hate that.
I remember.
Oh, I love you.
100%,
I love you,
100%.
100%.
100%.
100%.
Come on.
What's your least favorite word? or I'm sorry, what's your favorite curse word? Yeah, we already did the least favorite word. Favorite curse word.
Oh, that's just boring. It's fuck.
That's all right. That's a solid
Fuck,
solid
fuck,
word.
fuck.
Yeah.
You can use it for anything.
Yep. Good or bad.
It works in all situations. What profession other than your own would you most like to do? What yeah, let's go that way. Which profession?
Besides like a NBA sports, like a
Is that what you do?
athlete. No. No. Probably like a movie director.
Okay.
Something like that. Maybe some music.
Okay.
I think my brother had said doing music for a movie that would be cool. But I would put him in charge of the movie, of the music, and then I would direct the movie. So.
Gotcha. What would you not like to do, other than what you're doing now?
Cleaning blue rooms, so porta potties.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Cleaning them out is every time I drive by it at work, I'm like, oh, I feel so bad for those.
Do they have to manually go in there and clean them?
By hand.
Oh, they go in there, dude.
I figured they blasted them with some sort of like power washer.
Yeah, but still, like you're still getting all that
shit speckles. Shit speckles.
Well,
yeah. Well, I hope you're wearing at least like a bib or something for the shit speckles. Goggles.
You'd be surprised.
Just some naked guy cleaning it,
just
covered
eating
in
chips.
I once
Chips
walked into a porta potty at work, and oh my God, dude, there was shit everywhere. And I was just like, man, I did not want to be that guy that has to clean that.
Good Lord.
All over the place.
I think he just throws it away after that, I guess. I'm not gonna bother with it.
Light it on fire.
Yeah. Fuck this.
Yeah. Just light on fire and walk away.
Right, yeah. That's when I would quit the job. I'd be like, yep, I'm not doing this.
That's a good life lesson right there.
Yes.
Light it, if it's not going for you, light it on fire and walk away.
Yeah, just light it on fire.
Yep. Fuck it.
All right. Next question. What lifts your spirits? What gets your juices flowing? What yeah, that's good enough.
I guess the same thing I had mentioned earlier, like in the movie Rocky
Yeah.
1, 2, just someone just giving everything that they got towards whatever they are doing.
Yeah, that lifts your
that
spirits.
inspires. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. What deflates you? What brings you down?
Probably people just giving up when they should overcome. People giving up so much that they commit suicide, something like that. Not accepting or seeking help when they need help.
Gotcha. And I think we're on our last question here. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates?
God.
Yep, he's there. What
He is there.
He, she, it. What he?
I guess can I be cheesy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just
Be you.
how many lives do you think that you changed? How about that?
Okay. You like George
Now,
Bailey?
do you have to guess
And then
the
I would be
number,
like,
or-
yeah, I'd be like, man, maybe like 3.
and he's
4.
like, dude, it was like 750,000.
Yeah, dude, that would be insane. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
It would be like George Bailey, like your one little choice affected that person, which affected another person.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So it might
And then
very
I would
well
ask
be
him-
700 and something.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I would ask him, like, did I cause the outcome of any sports? Like, did I?
No.
Did
You
it,
did not
did
do
it
that.
ever trickle down that far to where I got the Cubs to win the World Series? Was it because of me? You know what I mean? Something like that.
Because I feel like it was, but I just don't want to sound crazy.
I feel like
Because I did everything I could do.
And if anybody's gonna know, it's gonna be you. It's gonna be you.
Yeah.
Was that part of your plan? All right. Well, thanks, Sly. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. All right. There's the applause. There we go.
That
There we
applause
go.
was warranted.
Yes. All right.
I love laugh tracks.
We're gonna need him here real soon. We're gonna get into our timeline now of the year 1997.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
Can we all get along? Can we get along?
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder.
What the hell were you thinking?
They served a search warrant on me, which allowed them to view and photograph my body, including my penis, my buttocks, my lower torso, thighs, and any other area that they wanted.
Susan, I'm gay.
That Diana, Princess of Wales, has in fact been killed in that car accident.
A Senate panel describes Y2K, the year 2000 computer bug, as a worldwide crisis.
Woo.
And on
in the 90s now.
Yes, we are. We're at least at left testicle, I think. All right. On January 7th, 1997, the Spice Girls released their debut single, Wannabe, in the U.S. and premiered the music video 18 days later. It was the parting shot from the once mighty British Empire to the rest of the world. Well played, Brits. Well played. On February 13th, 1997, tune-up and repair work on the Hubble Space Telescope is started by astronauts from the Space Shuttle Discovery. First order of business, remove the lens cap. On March 11th, 1997, thank you. On March 11th, 1997, Paul McCartney is knighted by Queen Elizabeth II. He would later be joined by other notable warriors, Mick Jagger, Elton John, Tom Jones, Rod Stewart, and Bono. On April 15th, 1997, Hanson releases MMMBop, one of the most successful debut singles of all time, reaching #1 in 27 countries and making Hanson Public Enemy #1 for the remainder of 97.
Mm-hmm.
On May 11th, 1997, IBM's Deep Blue defeats Garry Kasparov in the last game of the rematch, the first time a computer beats a chess world champion in a match. It would be a high point for the AI, one that it would ride out until Watson's fateful appearance on Jeopardy in 2011. In Final Jeopardy, when given the clue, its largest airport is named for a World War II hero, its second largest for a World War II battle. Watson answered with Toronto. June 21st, 1997, the Women's National Basketball Association, the WNBA, plays its first game at the Great Western Forum in Los Angeles, California. The public would become enthralled immediately with the WNBA, where its popularity would dwarf the NBA and rival that of the NFL. Yes. On July 1st, 1997, the United Kingdom hands sovereignty of Hong Kong to the People's Republic of China, essentially signaling the end of the long-standing British Empire. The UK also took the moment to apologize to the world for the Spice Girls, as they agreed they had gone too far. On August 31st, Diana, Princess of Wales, is taken to a hospital after a car accident shortly after midnight in the Pont d'Alma road tunnel in Paris. She is pronounced dead by 4 a.m. The paparazzi were blamed for the crash, as they were seen harassing Princess Di's car, following her in a reckless manner. After her death, paparazzi were banned worldwide, thus ending the careers of thousands of peeping Toms. While on his way to a benefit concert in Kansas, Rich Mullen loses control of his Jeep, flipping the automobile and throwing both Mullins and passenger Mitch McVicker out onto the road. A tractor trailer approaching the scene swerves to miss McVicker, striking and killing Mullins instantly. It was rumored that God was particularly upset with Mullins for the description of him as awesome, and felt the need to bring him home by showing him how awesome he could be. On October 12, 1997, John Denver dies in a plane crash in Pacific Grove, California. A multi-Grammy Award-winning artist with hits such as Thank God I'm a Country Boy and Country Roads. Denver enjoyed a long and successful career that peaked with his multi-platinum Christmas album, John Denver and the Muppets: A Christmas Together. The perfect Christmas gift for that special someone in your life. Trust me, it will not end badly. On November 6, 1997, the Spice Girls make the decision to take over the running of the group and drop Simon Fuller as their manager. Simon would put out a full press release in the UK, vowing to get revenge on the girls and the music industry, claiming he would bring them to their knees with a new project titled Simon Fuller Fucks the World. Title not determined. December 31st, 1997, the home of country music, the Opryland USA theme park in Nashville, Tennessee, closes and is subsequently demolished, rebuilt, remodeled, and reopened as the world's largest Waffle House. All right. And that will do it for our timeline of 1997.
A lot of Spice Girls news.
Yeah.
They were everywhere. It was in music, it was in entertainment, it was in timelines, it was everywhere. They literally they blew up, and this was like their year. I think they were the first like group from the UK since the Beatles, maybe even in a sense bigger. I mean, it was their debut album, and it went #1 everywhere. They went to the United States and dominated the charts on that. Their album was like one of the #1, if not the #1 selling album of the year. It was insane. It was all Spice Girls everywhere. They had a movie that was released this year, which yes, that is going to make the list. That is
Spice World, of course.
Yes.
That's one of the best movies of the year, right?
It probably should be.
It made a list. It didn't. Well, we'll see what list it made.
Oh, okay. As long as it made a list, I'm happy.
Certainly made a list. All right. Well, that will do it for our timeline, and we will now move into movies of the year 1997.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
What's in the bar?
He's beginning to believe.
You can't handle the truth.
I must have drank me about 15 Dr. Peppers. You are a child plaything.
I see dead people.
Your first appearance are dead.
Hold on to your butt.
I'm the king of the world.
Love that. Must have drank me about 15.
I must have drank me about 15.
I love it.
Dr. Peppers.
So ridiculous.
I love.
Of all the lines. All right. And top 10 movies in terms of gross for the year 1997. Number 10, George of the Jungle. George of the Jungle, number 10. Yep.
Yeah, with Brendan Fraser, right?
Fraser.
Oh,
yeah.
Fraser.
Yes. You've been
I've
saying it wrong all these
this whole
years.
time.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Brendan Fraser.
I'm sure he's listening.
Brendan Fraser.
I think I saw that movie
same.
once when I was a kid, and I didn't like it. I
never saw it. I don't
animals looked cheap as hell, and just didn't look good.
I just like the song.
Song's pretty solid.
George of the Jungle. Yeah,
strong as he can be. Yeah,
I think Weird Al wrote that.
Did he really?
Song. I'm pretty sure.
Interesting.
I'm gonna look it up. You keep going.
Yeah, I will, because number 9, top 10 movies in terms of gross, 1997. Number 9, Batman and Robin. I mean, good fucking god. I mean, what? This killed the Batman franchise. Full stop. It almost like, I mean, I don't know how many more superhero movies were made post Batman and Robin, but there weren't a good deal. It wasn't until X-Men, like 3 years later, that
there weren't much that were just as good as that.
Yeah. Batman and Robin. I mean, it had Schwarzenegger with his puns, every other line, just ridiculous.
Yeah. Some of those puns didn't make any goddamn sense either. Like, what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Like, okay.
Just giving out facts.
Was that the George Clooney one?
Yep,
yes,
that's the George Clooney one.
Oh, yeah, where Bob's his head the whole movie.
There's also, was Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy. Bane.
Right.
Bane is ridiculous.
Bane was in there.
He's just like this, I don't know, juiced up. I don't know what the hell's wrong with Bane. It's not the Bane from the comic books. It's not, I don't know what the hell they were thinking. I mean, even in the animated series, or I think Bane got his start, or no, that was the Joker's girlfriend, Harley Quinn. But Bane was like a new villain that broke Batman's back. He was this brilliant, like, mastermind, right? And in the movie, he's this, fumbling idiot who just growls. He's ridiculous. Yeah, I think that was
I thought Uma Thurman did good as Poison Ivy, though. I will give that to her.
Yeah, she tried her best.
She did. She did what she could with the material at hand.
Yeah.
It's just an all around, just really bad movie. I loved it when I was a kid because I was a big fan of Robin. Robin being younger and you're a kid, so you relate more to Robin than you do to Batman, right? In a sense. So I always wanted to see a full-length Batman and Robin movie. At the end of Batman Forever, when Robin and him get together, that was my favorite part of that movie. So now there's a whole movie with Batman and Robin. This is going to be so much fun. I loved it when I was a kid. Then I got even just like a little bit older and I watched it again. It was not good. One of the worst comic book movies ever. Hands down.
Oh, yeah. Pretty terrible. Hey, that George of the Jungle theme.
Yeah.
It was not Weird Al, but Weird Al did re-record it in 1985. So.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Were you gonna say
on my bachelor party, we went to like this famous comic book store, and there was this guy there that claimed that he was supposed to be cast as the Robin in these Batman movies.
Oh,
yeah. He said he lost the role to this guy because he couldn't make it or something like that.
Oh, sure.
He couldn't fit in his schedule.
Yeah.
Or he couldn't fit it in his schedule, or he couldn't fit in the suit.
I don't know, but I was looking at him and I was like, I'm gonna believe every word this guy says.
We'll move on from Batman and Robin. That movie is a dumpster fire. We'll be there all day. Number 8, top 10 movie. Number 8, Face Off. Nicolas Cage, John Travolta, Face Off. The John Woo film, I believe.
Yes, that movie fucking rules.
Yeah.
No, that movie is great. It's so ridiculous.
Yes, it is. It is absolutely ridiculous. The quote, it's very quotable. We used to quote it all the time when we were younger.
Yeah. I would say it's Nicolas Cage's second best movie.
Where he does like the peach thing, where he's like, I could eat a peach for hours, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Just weird.
Weird sexual energy from him.
Yeah. And him and his little brother, he's like this weird little dude. I don't know. The whole movie is ridiculous. And I mean, I guess it's worth watching at least once.
Yeah. And, to me, it's hard to explain it, but there's like many layers of acting in that, because you have John Travolta, the actor. He's actually Nicolas Cage because they got their faces swapped, right? And he's trying to fit in as John Travolta's character. So it's like John Travolta pretending to be Nicolas Cage, who's pretending to be John Travolta. If that makes sense. Yeah. So it's brilliant.
Yeah.
They should have swept the Oscars,
Nolan, dude.
Exactly.
Just the idea. So he's John Travolta, but he's really Nicolas Cage. So he's John Travolta playing how Nicolas Cage would play him as John Travolta.
Correct. Yes.
And it's this like, you want to talk about, what is it, meta or something like that, or what do they call that?
I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
That's method acting to an extreme. How would Nicolas Cage as me play me as Nicolas Cage playing me? Yeah, Face Off. If you can understand it, good on you. Good on you. We'll move on now to the number 7 highest grossing movie of the year. I've never seen this movie. I'm not really the demographic for it, I imagine, but My Best Friend's Wedding, number 7. My Best Friend's Wedding, 1997.
My mom likes that movie, so.
Oh, Linda. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
hi, Mom.
Hi, Linda. I've never seen the movie. I apologize.
Yeah, neither have I.
It's on my list. I swear. It's deep. It's far down, but it's there. You like?
My wife loves that movie.
Yeah, I think it's a as they say, a chick flick.
Yes. A rom-com. Yes.
Indeed.
My guess is, from what I've seen, just the minute amount that I've seen of this, someone's best friend is like getting married or something like that. So they're going to bring their best friend along because they want to date, so they're not single at a wedding, and then they end up falling for each other. But she's probably got some romantic interest that's already going to the wedding, and they find out they're perfect for each other, and then it all ends.
Right.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Sounds good to
me.
Sounds like a good guess.
Yeah. 6. Swear to God, never watched that movie. 6. Star Wars 4: A New Hope, the re-release of it with the updated crap. So you get all those special effects that George Lucas
the
wanted.
Special editions.
The first start of the snowball that eventually would get to with Darth Vader, the Blu-ray edition. Throwing down.
Remember, I saw that in theaters, of course. Just a line of people like down the block at the old theater behind the Kmart in Valpo, which no longer exists.
Oh yeah. remember that place.
Yeah, it was good.
So the number.
I mean,
oh, sorry, go on.
Oh, I mean, in terms of the special editions, I think that one probably has the least amount of shit done to it.
I couldn't tell you. I thought it was called
Like
kind of equal,
added
but I
special
wouldn't
effects and whatever.
Yeah, they released them all like back to back to back in the same year.
Yes,
basically.
I think it was. Yeah.
Number 5. This movie came out in December of '97, and it was top 5 for the year. December came out. Any guesses as to what movie could have been released in '97 that made a lot of money, that made even more money in '98?
Oh, I know, but I'm not gonna say.
Oh, I know.
No clue.
I'm king of the world.
Correct. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh,
yeah. Yes, Titanic, top 5 grossing movie, and it was released in December. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Number 4, we'll get to that movie in '98. That's more of a '98 thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 4, Air Force One. Yeah. Get off my plane. Yeah.
Get off my plane.
Yeah, get off my plane.
Harrison Ford is
Yeah.
best.
Back when,
that's a pretty good movie.
do you think a movie about a president like that could be made nowadays? I think there's been the the bar's been lowered so bad that you just can't imagine the presidents. Like, I can't think of a single president in the past 40 years that even like, yeah, I could see them getting in a fight on a plane and kicking the shit out of some terrorists. Who? I mean,
I
Obama
think-
was like
well,
athletic, but I don't see
I
him
feel like,
pulling that off.
well, okay, I think most presidents would just immediately get on that escape pod and leave the plane.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know, like George Bush Sr., he was like head of CIA, wasn't he? So he probably knew how to break some necks.
In the 40s or 50s, that guy was, yeah. And when he became president, he was like, what, 70 something?
Okay, yeah. Well, I guess we have to take into account the age.
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know. I still feel like he'd be able to take a couple of them down, maybe.
probably.
I don't know.
He has some knowledge. Anyway, out maybe they probably figure something out. I don't know.
I don't know.
But
Clinton would have been too high to even know what was going on.
Clinton wouldn't have cared if it was an intern or something like that. He might have been interested. He was the first one
Yeah,
out.
he was a chick flick
Right.
sometime.
Yeah. I don't know. Isn't Gary Oldman the villain in that?
Yes,
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah. That's right.
He's just screaming that entire movie, basically. Just yelling the whole time.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly, yeah.
All right, we'll get to number 3, top 3 movie of in terms of gross of 1997. Number 3, Liar Liar, Jim Carrey. Is this his best movie? Is this his best movie? No.
It's pretty good though.
My favorite will always be Dumb and Dumber.
I only saw that movie
Yeah.
once. I don't really remember any of it.
I saw the movie a bunch. We used to rent it from the library.
I skipped over that one.
Yeah, it was the guy from The Princess Bride, Carrie Ools. I can't remember his name.
Carrie Elways.
Elways, yeah. He's the good dad, like the stepdad, the guy that's like going to replace Fletcher, who's the name of Jim Carrey's character in Liar Liar, and he's got this thing. He's just like this good dad, like this, trying to do what he can, but he's just so corny and lame that he's just, he tries his hardest, but he just doesn't. He's not Jim Carrey, so I always felt kind of bad for that guy because he has this Jim Carrey between him and his son has this thing where he's like, I got the claw, and he pretends like he's going after Max, right? And then the Carrie Elways or whatever, he sees that and he's just like, oh, I see. So he's like, hey, Max, I've got the claw. Little finger claw. He's like, oh, I got you. He's like, what the hell's this guy doing? Oh, it cracked me up.
Yeah.
The outtakes of that movie are fantastic. I always like watching that at the end. But yeah, I mean, that's a classic.
I do the claw to this day because of Jim Carrey. So
really,
yeah, I do it to my kids. I chase them around the house with the claw. So they would react the same way if they had another dad. That's how they would react if he was doing it. What?
You do like the Jim Carrey claw, right? You do the full hand, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try the little one finger. Hey, I've got the claw. The hell's wrong with this guy? All right. Number 2, top 2 movie of 1997. Number 2, The Lost World, Jurassic Park. Yeah.
Oh, that was the second one, yeah.
Yes.
God.
They got Jeff Goldblum back, and that's it, right?
They got got Hammond back as well. He's there in the beginning and the end.
Okay.
Yeah. They got the kids back. And I think that's it though from the original.
Aren't there other kids in there too?
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum's daughter.
Oh, daughter.
Right.
Doing like gymnastics and knocking out
that's the worst fucking part of that movie.
And that one guy is in the bus or whatever that almost gets pulled off the cliff. What's his name?
What, Eddie?
I don't know. Sure, Eddie. Yeah.
The
actor's name.
Vince Vaughn.
Oh, Vince Vaughn.
Yes, Vince Vaughn.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
And what's her name? Julianne Moore, of course.
Yeah, she's in that. Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, that movie sucked.
Love interest, yeah.
Yeah, besides the first one, it's just downhill.
Well, when we were kids, we actually went to go see that movie in the drive-in.
Yeah, we did.
We all got together. I remember because I was hurriedly, making a DiGiorno pizza, and it was burned.
Not delivery, huh?
No.
Yeah.
You wouldn't,
no, not at all.
You would have known it this time because it was burned to a crisp. So I had to eat the top part of the pizza that wasn't burned. I left the crust as black as night, and I'm just like eating the top part with a fork on our way to the drive-in. And about
rookie move.
Yeah, about I was 1997, maybe 11 years old. Just turned 11 in April. Anyway, we're about halfway there, and all of a sudden, just this boom, loud crash, and we had rammed into something. It was a deer. The hood flew up.
It was a dinosaur.
Yeah, my dad could not see. Yeah. And we pulls over to the side of the road, and we had some friends of mine with us in the van as well. And our dad gets out, and he says, for us, it's the famous line where he looks at the front of the car, he comes back around, and he's like, our radiator? Yeah? What radiator? And I was like, oh, okay. And then we did not go see the movie eventually. Yeah, essentially. So yeah, we had to wait for a VHS on that one. So that was our trip to see Jurassic Park. The thing is, that was way more exciting than the movie. So
fair enough. Yeah.
We lucked out.
But rookie move on that burnt pizza. What you do is you scrape the bottom of it and scrape all the black shit off, and then you're good to go.
Well, I'll get a time travel thing, and we'll go back, and I'll let myself know.
You do that.
Yeah.
I'm just, for future.
For future.
Pizzas.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, I've gotten pretty good at using the timer and paying attention.
The correct temperature.
Right.
Well, unless it was a different timeline, then you would have already scraped off your pizza. There would have been no reason to go back in time and scrape off the burnt pizza.
Yeah. Let's dig into that. Can anyone guess what the number one movie of 1997 was in terms of gross? The movie that made the most in 1997? Any guesses?
I mean, I was looking at 97 movies, so I don't know if my guess would count.
Oh, okay. Well, Brad's out of the contest.
Okay. I didn't look at the grossing, but I just saw movies. So,
any guesses, Nick, Sly?
No, I have no guesses. I have no idea.
I'm usually pretty good at this, but I don't know.
All right. The number one movie of 1997, Men in Black.
Men in Black.
Nice. Yeah. That's a great movie.
Yeah. I haven't seen that movie in a really long time.
Oh no, trust me, it's good. It's really good.
I don't know.
What?
Somehow
really?
I feel like I won't like it. Like I won't like it as much as I maybe did when I was younger. I might like a few parts.
I think you would, just because the creepy guy, the guy that's like alien and shit.
Oh, the sugar water guy.
Yeah. Yeah. He's awesome.
His performance is amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I don't know how they did it. Make his skin hanging off of his body, and that one part. I don't know how they do it. I gotta look it up. When she's like, his wife is like, whatever his name is. Your skin's looks like your skin's falling off your body, and he grabs the back of his head and pulls it really tight.
Oh yeah.
It's like, there, is that better? And she just faints.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit, dude, you watch that? It's freaky as hell looking.
Yeah.
I don't know how they did that.
I think
that's a good movie.
That's Dorothy Harris from Forrest Gump. That's his wife. A little kid. Forrest Gump goes to the bus, and he's like, I'm not supposed to take rides from strangers. He's like, this is the bus to the school. Well, he's like, my name's Forrest Gump. And she's like, I'm Dorothy Harris.
The bus driver. Okay.
I'm Dorothy Harris. Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty sure that's Dorothy Harris.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Also, like Elaine Bennis's like workout, her like roommate for a few seasons in Seinfeld. All right, we'll move on to my personal film selections of 1997. We're gonna start with Contact, the movie Contact. Brad was kind enough to share in the Discord like a clip. Actually, I think it was first started off with Christian.
No,
And
Christian started the clip, and I countered it with the explanation on how they did that
did it,
shot. Yeah.
I've only seen that movie maybe once. I think it's
I
really good.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's very
Very
good.
good movie.
I just kind of love that movie.
It's
kind of like it's kind of pleasant to watch. It's kind of slow, and it's like
That's the one
exciting
with-
at times. And
That's the one with Bruce Willis and no, I'm kidding.
Is that Jodie
Armageddon?
no, so I was thinking of The Fifth Element.
Oh, Fifth Element. Oh, okay.
Another science fiction movie, but a little bit different than Contact.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I think
Bruce Willis.
isn't it like does it remind you a little bit of Arrival in a way? Or is like Arrival like an updated version of Contact?
Oh, yeah. Well, Contact has the whole, it's like religion versus science sort of thing.
Right.
It
The
was
ending
based on a book
is
by
so
Carl
great.
Sagan.
Yeah. I mean
Really?
that right there is worth the
Oh yeah, it's
it's
definitely
quite
worth
good.
a
It
watch.
stars
It's
Jodie
interesting.
Foster and
Yes.
I guess what's his name? Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I forgot all about that. but
James
yeah.
Woods is in there. There's some other people in there.
Contact, quite good.
That sounds great.
Very good.
Yeah.
I
Saw
not
that in
Yeah, it's a good
theaters.
movie.
I'm not sure where that's streaming right now, but I tried looking it up last night because of that one scene where this. Okay, so the scene that we were talking about, it's when the girl's father. I don't really know
Yes.
what's going on, but there's like the scene. It starts off. I think it starts off at least. You see this bowl of popcorn on the ground, and the director went out of his way to make sure that each kernel was essentially it's like a galaxy, right?
Yeah, I did not
Constellation,
know that.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a constellation.
It's
yeah.
a little thing in the background, an Easter egg, I guess you could say. And the girl's she sees her father on the ground. She's like, I got to go run up and get his medicine. And she turns around and she starts running. And the camera flips, but you don't even realize that it's a mirror image that you're looking at until she gets to the mirror in the bathroom and she flips it open. And it's like this whole whirlwind. It seems like it just like spins you around because you don't realize till that moment that what you're looking at.
Yeah, you don't realize you're like looking at the mirror the whole time, kind of,
Right.
and then it goes
Yeah.
into the mirror and comes back out. And
Yep.
Yeah, it's
And then-
really, really cool.
When the mirror goes to close slightly, almost close all the way, but not fully, in the reflection of the mirror, you see the picture of her father and her.
Well, yeah, of course.
So
Yeah.
it's like, it's so expertly done, and it was all in the
It's
vision of
definitely worth
Zemeckis.
the watch.
Yeah,
It's a bit cheesy, kinda, because at the end we're well.
Do you want to
I
give
don't
it
wanna
away?
Spoil it now.
Yeah,
No,
no.
I'm not going to spoil it.
Okay. But yeah, it's definitely worth the watch. If you've never seen it and you like sci-fi movies, Contact is definitely worth the watch. Speaking of sci-fi movies, another personal film selection of mine. By the way, here, my personal film selections, not that many, maybe 9, 10, I'd say probably.
That sounds about right.
My worst movies, double that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're an insane. One of them we'll just move on because we've already shit on it. We can already guess which that one. It was in the top 10. It was number 9, but I have to put it in that list. I guess it made it 2 lists. Anyway,
I forgot already.
yeah. All right, we'll revisit that in here in a sec. Personal film selection number 2, Starship Troopers. Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Such
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
favorite moments of Starship Troopers. Sly, do you have any thoughts on any favorites?
Well, I don't have a favorite moment, but I did not get to watch that until probably 2010
Really?
because I was never allowed to watch it. I asked my dad a million times, and he'd be like, "No, you can't watch that." Blah 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 blah. And then through the years, I forgot about it, and then I watched it one random night. I think it was on a streaming service or something, and I was like, "Oh my God, this movie's amazing! It's a great movie, dude. I love that movie."
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize all the tongue-in-cheek stuff the first time I watched it. It wasn't the second time or third time through that I realized all the satirization of just
Yes.
of everything.
Yeah.
That's a big thing in there.
And that makes the movie make so much more sense then, because one of the things I liked about it is how over the top of it all was, but there's a reason for all of that, and it's all
Right.
it's just so good. And then when I find out some guy did RoboCop, because RoboCop's the exact same way.
Yep.
And so it's it just it's very good. It's a step up from his previous movie, Striptease, or not Striptease. What's it called? Not Striptease. That's with Demi Moore.
Showgirls.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
A massive step from Showgirls. Yeah, Starship Troopers. You know, who's that got? Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah.
Doogie Howser.
Michael Ironside.
Yeah.
Is like the teacher at the beginning, I think. And
oh yeah.
But saw that in theaters as like an 11-year-old with my dad and my siblings. I'm pretty sure my dad saw one preview for that. He's like, "Come on, kids, let me get the keys. We're gonna go watch Starship Troopers." Oh yeah, we saw all the action, crazy, gory movies growing up.
Yeah.
Just did
I
not
don't know
give a
why
shit.
I wasn't allowed to watch it. Like even when I watched it that time, I was like, I don't know why I wasn't able to watch
Most of the
this.
gore is like the bugs exploding.
Yeah.
I think like the people, get maimed and arms and heads cut off. And,
there's nudity too, lots of nudity.
Right. Oh yeah, a little bit of
It's
nudity.
not horrible.
Well, there's a whole
I was
shower
allowed to
scene
watch
of like people walking around naked.
Yeah, Paul Verhoeven was all about the co-ed showers because there were also co-ed showers in RoboCop. But it's like not sexual. It's just people chit-chatting, taking a shower. Which
I
yeah,
was
getting
able
into
to watch stuff like Lethal Weapon and RoboCop, but I couldn't watch Starship Troopers.
Wait.
Yeah.
You were able to see RoboCop?
Yeah.
RoboCop is the same director and just as gory.
If not more so.
I love RoboCop. I don't know why I wasn't able to watch it.
Weird. Anyways, but the satire thing, you miss a lot of it if you're not like paying attention to the dialogue.
Right.
Like
all the commercials.
I'll just give a couple. Yeah, all the commercials definitely are like propaganda for their society. Like 2 examples, like at the very beginning where Michael Ironside is teaching his class, and then it's like the 2 main characters are like drawing, or he's sending a drawing of them kissing to her, and it's cutting to them a lot. But if you listen to Michael Ironside, he's talking about how like peace never did anything. It must be a violent society. We must, he's just talking about how great violence is.
Right.
And that's what they teach. And then another thing in the co-ed shower scene, there's the whole thing where you can be a citizen or a civilian. And the only way to become a citizen is if you serve in the army and go, do whatever violent shit. But in that co-ed shower scene, some lady, or someone asked, why'd you join? And one lady is like, "Oh, I want to have kids." It's like, you have to like serve in the military to have children in this society.
Huh. I never thought that.
It's
I
crazy.
never thought that.
Yeah, you have to listen to like all their little conversations. It's nuts.
Right.
So yeah, a lot of layers in that movie, despite on the top just being a gory action movie, much like RoboCop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick, do you have any scenes from Starship Troopers that stick out to you?
Always when the guy is told to put his hand on the wall and then he throws the knife. And he's got to wear like that weird like blue thing on his arm.
Oh yeah.
For the rest of I just that always stuck out to me when because I watched that movie when I was a kid, and those gory things like that stick out to you.
For sure.
But I remember reading Ender's Game later in life and seeing all the similarities in Starship Troopers.
Oh yeah.
The science fiction similarities, like the in the classroom when like Brad was talking about how they were like drawing stuff. They had that in Ender's Game.
Yep.
Bugs and stuff. So that's a big part of it.
Love that book.
I think for me, we'll move on here after this. For Starship Troopers, the scene that sticks out to me the most, that just always makes me squirm.
I hope it's what I'm thinking of.
The brain bug is pulled out.
Yep.
Or pulls itself out with all the other little
That's right.
bugs. And goes up to that guy that he's got like a bug's arm through his like shoulder area, like under his collarbone. And that brain bug just got this slimy needle thing, and it just smacks down onto his head and sucks out his brains.
Sucks his fucking brain, and his head
just
caves in.
Yeah, and I'm like,
man.
oh
It's
god,
so good.
that part. This is the worst.
That's practical effects for you,
right? And the part that made me laugh is when they they capture the brain bug. It's like at the end of the movie, and they got that censored part where they shove that thing in its head, or I don't know what the hell's going on there, but yeah, it cracked me up.
I remember that.
We'll move on now to my third personal film selection of '97. We don't want to talk too much on this one, but maybe a few things. Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. Mike Myers. I mean, when this movie was like the shit when I was younger, like you seen Austin Powers, and everyone quoted it, everyone talked about it, and I thought it was hilarious. I remember staying the night at a friend's house, who was actually Esteban's neighbor, and we watched Austin Powers, and we I just laughed my ass off. I love that movie. I watch it every now and then, like not all the time, but maybe once a year.
Right.
But I don't watch the others. That's it. In fact, I don't watch a lot of Mike Myers movies. I just watch that one, and that's it. I like
the first two. The first two Austin Powers movies are definitely memorable to me. I didn't care too much for the third one.
Oh God, Goldmember.
Yeah. I think I've seen Goldmember the most out of all of them.
Really?
Unfortunately, yeah.
That
terrible.
Sucks.
Yeah, it sucks to be me.
I got a Goldmember like DVD, DVD for Christmas. It was the Infinity disc with all the behind the scenes features, all those Infinity discs back then.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, just the endlessly quotable movie. The fact that he wrote that whole script in like no time at all is ridiculous.
I'll have to rewatch that.
But we'll move on now to another personal selection of mine, The Rainmaker, with Matt Damon.
Yep,
Matt Damon.
The John Grisham book.
John Grisham book. Yep.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito too, right?
Danny DeVito. Right. Yep. Very good movie. Deals with lawyers, like small time lawyers that just, they're trying to make it, but at the same time they're trying to do it right. The good lawyer stuff, and they get this case of this sick boy and malpractice, or it's a weaving sort of case, and it goes on, and you find out more. It's very compelling. Very good movie, underrated. I don't hear a lot of people talk about The Rainmaker a lot, but I liked it a lot.
I've never seen it.
Yep. So The Rainmaker, I definitely recommend. Now we're gonna get to probably my. God, if this isn't my favorite rom-com, it's definitely a 1A. It's When Harry Met Sally and this movie. I fucking love this movie, and I don't think it could get made today. I don't think it could. It's just a real shame, but I'm glad that it was made when it was. It's a James L. Brooks movie. You may have heard of him from The Simpsons. He basically wrote this and directed it, I believe. The movie is called As Good as It Gets.
Yeah, I love this movie.
And it stars Jack Nicholson, Helen Hunt, Greg Kinnear, the Billy from Scream, Skeeter Ulrich, I believe his name is. And someone else, I can't remember.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Cuba Gooding Jr. That's
yeah. Dude, I love that movie.
It's so good.
Before I get to me, because I got a lot, and maybe you guys will trim it down for me, so I want it to go on. But are there any favorite scenes in that movie that stick out to you? Brad, do you have one?
Nope. I saw it once a long time ago. I don't really remember any of it.
All right, we'll move on. Sly.
Perfect answer. Oh no, man! There's so many. Just Jack Nicholson's character in the whole movie is just amazing. How he brings his own forks and just such a good movie, man.
Nick, you got any?
That movie.
I like the scene where he goes to the restaurant that he frequents, right? And where that waitress isn't there. And he's pissed, right? He's like, "Well, I'm not eating. Get her. Call her and tell her to get down here." Oh my god, that's so great. But yeah, I just like the. It's just a really great, wholesome movie, and Jack Nicholson is just off the chain, man. He's just so great.
His best role of the '90s. You think?
Possibly.
Maybe? I mean, there's a few good men.
Right.
He has a supporting part.
He's brilliant in that.
But man,
what makes you think that wouldn't do well nowadays?
Well, I'll get to that. Okay, so the many of my favorite parts.
Yeah.
So like he gets to the restaurant that he frequents all the time, right? And he's got this couple sitting there at the table that he always sits at. It's right when he gets. It's like one of the first scenes in the movie, and
Right.
he's there and he's talking to all the waitresses, trying to get to the waitress that he likes, the only one, and he's like, he lets her know that he's got Jews at his table, and everyone like, and he's just like, you can't say, and he's just like, you need to calm down. He's like, just behave yourself. They'll be gone in a second. And then he goes over to their table and he says, what's the matter? Because he wants them to leave. Your appetite's not as big as your noses. And they look at each other. Yeah. And then he looks at him and they're like, oh my God. And he's like, what? You don't want to, and I can't remember what it is. He says that later and they just get up and leave. And then the waitress, for whatever reason, Helen Hunt, her boss is like, get him out of there. I don't want to, I'll tell him not to do it again. Just, calm down. And she goes, he's like, hey, they left. And she's like, hey, what do you know about that? And she's like, manager says if you do that crap again, you're out of here and you're never coming back. And she's like, I'm gonna miss the excitement, but I'll miss you, and whatever. And he's like, well, he said, soon something he did, you'll be dead. It sounds like your son will be dead, stuff like that. And he realizes not immediately, shortly thereafter, that he's because Helen Hunt's son in the movie he's sickly, and he's always in and out of the hospital. And he overheard a conversation about how she was in the hospital again. And he made the joke that her son, or he said, your son will be dead. And she's like, you ever talk about my son again, you will never come back here. Do you understand me? And he's like, he immediately knows. It's the first time he reacts to her, that he's upset her. Many lines about he is offensive to the T. Like there's nothing about him that isn't offensive culturally, socially. There's nothing about him. At every taboo subject, he's in the wrong at every single one. It's really quite something that the fact that he says these things in the movie and he just gets away with it. One of my favorite scenes in the movie, when he goes to get the money from his publisher to pay for the woman's child's medical bills and everything and medical care. The secretary goes to meet, I just need to ask you you're always in and out of here. I want to ask you a few questions before you leave. And in the secretary in his publishing office, it's the same actress who plays Dexter Morgan's wife. If you watch the movie Dexter or show Dexter, and she goes, how do you write women so well? How do you do it? And as he's getting on the elevator, ready to leave, he turns around and he grins at her. He goes, I think of a man and I take away reason and accountability. And the elevator closes.
Yeah. I remember that now. Yeah.
Yeah. And her face just turns to a frown. Huh? And the elevator just closes. And he's got great one-liners throughout the entire movie. The whole time, just the guy's dog, his neighbor, played by Greg Kinnear,
who does amazing.
Oh, he's fantastic in that movie.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's so good. Every actor and actress in that movie is top notch. The lady who, the other neighbor, tries to get because Jack Nicholson's character becomes attached to the dog as much as he tries not to be. After watching it, he's like, "Can you give Riddell a walk? Can you walk Riddell?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I can do that, no problem." He perks up, and she's like, "Oh, God bless you, God bless you." And he's like, "Where do they teach you to talk like this? Some back school, Panama or something? I don't know. It's something racist." He's like, "Go sell crazy somewhere else. We're all stocked up here." And he closes the door. Right. There's just so many great lines in that movie.
It's really a timeless classic.
Yeah.
For movies, I'd say this is as good as it gets.
Right. Whoa. Right. Yeah.
Well, it really is though.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll have to rewatch that.
What happened to your queer party friends?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, we'll move on now to another personal selection of mine, Jackie Brown.
Oh yeah,
Quentin Tarantino film.
Tarantino movie that no one really talks about.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a Tarantino movie not written by Tarantino, I believe. He just directed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Oh man, it's a good one.
Jackie Brown.
Say too much on it. Move on now to another personal selection of mine, L.A. Confidential. Never seen it. It's worth a watch. I think one of the first Blu-rays I ever bought. It's not bad.
Really?
But yeah, it's because
but it was one of the first Blu-rays you bought though.
Yeah, I didn't really buy movies, and I didn't have a Blu-ray player till my Xbox became a Blu-ray player. But it wasn't even a authentic Blu-ray player. I had to download a Blu-ray app to play the Blu-ray, so it was a whole thing. I was like, oh well, that's all right. And I still have it today, but I haven't really watched it since that day. But it wasn't a bad movie. Stars Russell Crowe, What's her name?
Danny DeVito again.
Yeah, and
oh, he's all over the place.
Lady from she was in Batman. She was Michael Keaton's.
Oh yeah, Kim Basinger.
Yep, Kim Basinger.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Another personal selection of mine, The Fifth Element. So there you go.
Oh yeah,
saw that in theaters. I think we
yeah,
saw
that's
every
really? That's awesome.
Every movie that was like action or sci-fi or that's pretty much it actually. Every action or science fiction movie I saw in theaters as a kid, all through my childhood.
All right, I got another one
great.
after this.
But yeah, The Fifth Element's great.
Chris Tucker's character.
What was cool about The Fifth Element? It was just like its own little self-contained movie. Like there was never a sequel or a
right.
As far as I know, no extension of that universe. It was just like this is it. This is your movie. You're in. You're out.
There's tons of fan
good.
fiction on that universe.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It was a really cool universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen it actually. So.
Whoa.
Really?
No.
Oh, dude,
it's a
it's
neat
good.
movie, man. It's really neat for the time.
Yeah.
Try and watch it again. I once tried to watch 12 Monkeys and I couldn't really get to that
12
either.
Monkeys is so good.
Yeah, that's
I had a hard
really
time
good
getting through
movie,
that
too.
one too. So,
But
but
I've
I've
something
heard
against Bruce Willis. Is
no, not really.
I mean,
His
these
last
days,
movie
yeah,
was
I could
shit,
see that.
but
yeah,
after I find out what happened was what's going on with him, I kind of understand. So,
he's got
Fifth
brain
Element has a
damage.
young Mila
Yep,
in it.
that
Jovovich.
famous
Mila
outfit.
Jovovich, yeah.
Yeah.
Pre-Resident
she's,
Evil.
She's quite the looker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Isn't Gary Oldman's in that one, right? Yeah, as well.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
he
is. What a
Yeah.
great character.
He's Zurg or Zorg or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, Zorg. That's right.
Yeah. He's looking for the stones.
Yeah.
Where's the stones?
Such a good
Oh man,
name,
and then who's the monk guy? Ian Holm, was it?
I just remember Chris Tucker's really eccentric character.
Hold on, I'm gonna Chris Tucker.
Is he talking about
Cornelius
like
Ian Holm?
Ricky Tan?
Yeah, it is Ian Holm. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the monk or the guy who knows about the stones.
Right.
Well, I mean,
and we won't give away what the Fifth Element actually is.
Yes, don't.
But
I still want to
will-
see it.
You will be pleasantly surprised.
Mm-hmm.
We'll move on now to another personal selection of mine. We only got 3 more left, including this one. Maybe you saw this as well, Brad, in theaters. Event Horizon.
Ooh, yes, I believe we did. Yeah. Dude, I forgot that movie came out this year.
Yeah,
Holy
nice.
shit.
Event Horizon. Sam Neill.
Mhm.
Maybe that's the reason he wasn't in Jurassic Park 2. He was busy doing Event Horizon. Maybe.
Yeah, being crazy in Event Horizon. Yeah.
The Event Horizon is the lip of the black hole, if you want to know what it actually is. But
Yeah.
I believe it's the name of a ship in the movie, as they're out far off in space. And there's a whole bunch of twists at the end, and Sam Neill goes fucking nuts. It's quite good.
Him and Larry Fishburne. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, Morpheus.
I haven't seen it. I've always wanted to see it.
It's a really good sci-fi horror movie. Yeah.
Right.
All right, we got 2 more left here. Boogie Nights.
Oh, this is one I've always wanted to see.
Classic.
Yeah. I've never seen it.
You've never seen Boogie Nights? Yeah, that's worth it.
No.
Yeah.
It's one
Dirk
movie
Diggler.
that it's definitely on my list to see.
I won't talk too much about it, but William H. Macy is in it. And his line of where he's like upset and they're like, "What are you upset about, man?" He's at the party. He's like, "What am I upset about? My wife's got some cock in her ass. Everyone's watching her out in the fucking driveway, man. What are you talking about?" Oh God. And Philip
he's
Seymour
so good.
Hoffman is so great in that movie.
Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it? Oh
Yeah,
my god.
he's got
I
a
have to
crush.
see it.
He has a crush on Mark Wahlberg's character. It's so good. Yeah, Dirk Diggler, so good.
I gotta see this.
There's a
so good,
famous
man.
scene where at the end the coke dealer they're listening to Night Ranger's sister Christian,
Mm.
and it's got this drum beat at the beginning of it. This dun 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 dun, dun,
Right.
you know, and it's right on with it. And people are like, "Man, he must have really practiced that." And it turns out they had a little earpiece that he was wearing that had the song playing, so he could go along with it perfectly. You know,
Oh yeah.
movie magic.
And then there's
Right.
a scene with the the kid throwing the firecrackers like randomly.
Trying to
right?
remember.
Isn't that the same movie, right?
Firecrackers.
Yeah.
Probably.
that.
I don't remember that.
Uh-oh.
It probably is.
Boogie Nights firecracker scene. It's a drug deal scene. It's a scene with Sister Christian playing in the background.
Okay. Yeah, it's at the end of the movie. Things go south, to say the least. But I want to give too much away.
I don't remember Philip Seymour Hoffman in that movie for some reason.
He's like a supporting little like side character, like he was like in Twister sort of deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised you guys don't remember the firecrackers, because it's like a really tense scene. You think like they're gonna get killed, and these firecrackers are going off,
right. No,
like
I
one at
remember
a
you're talking
time randomly.
Yeah.
And they're flinching every time one goes off. And then I was flinching too, because I'm like, oh god, oh no, they're gonna get shot.
Someone was doing that like
awesome.
just at random. I'm pretty sure I heard something about that. Just a great tension in the scene. They know a firecracker's coming, but they don't know when.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
And it's just, oh god. But yes, can't recommend enough. Boogie Nights, very, very well done. Who did that movie?
Was
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Paul Thomas Anderson. That's right. Yeah. Fantastic record. All right. And my last personal film selection of 1997, no brainer here. Good Will Hunting.
Oh,
phenomenal movie. Love it.
Gus Van Sant.
Big year for Matt Damon.
Oh yeah.
I've still never seen it.
What?
Really?
Oh, dude.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't know, guys. Sorry.
The hell?
Oh, yeah.
You know how much crap you've seen, and you haven't seen Good Will Hunting?
I've seen a lot of good crap. Thank you.
Yeah, but I mean, how do you not see Good Will Hunting?
I don't know.
Such a good movie.
The park bench scene is one of the best in any film ever.
I always drift towards like the science fiction, the horror, the action movies. So dramas are kind of like, yeah, maybe I'll watch it.
Well, I really think you should. Good Will Hunting is an excellent movie. Won Robin Williams his first Academy Award. He'd been nominated numerous times prior to that. You know, for let's say, what was it? Good Morning Vietnam. There was another one where he was like a homeless Russian fellow. He got nominated for that. It's just finally gets it with Good Will Hunting. The bench scene, it's almost become a pun, not pun, but like a joke with the the ending where Matt Damon breaks down, and he's just like, "What's the line? It's not your fault.
It's not your fault. Yeah, he's like, "Don't do this to me, man. Not you.
Not you, Sean. It's not your fault." And so we used to do that to our friends when they were like upset about something. Hey, it's not
all
your fault.
the time.
Yeah, I know.
There's
you
some
don't.
really
I
great,
was the one that would get upset.
some really great ad-libbed moments in those movies.
Oh yeah.
At the last, like the final scene, the final like line of the movie, that is, Robin Williams. He was supposed to really just like close the door after reading the letter about, I got to go see about a girl letter.
Yeah.
Which was his line. And he he was supposed to just close the door basically. And but he didn't. He did the line of son of a bitch stole my line.
Right.
That was ad-libbed too.
Matt Damon, when he heard that line, when he saw him give that, he immediately goes to the director, Gus, and he starts tapping on the shoulder. He's like, "That's it. That's the line."
Right.
Let's put that in the. Yep. So.
Have you guys ever seen any other Gus Van Sant movies?
Oh yeah, I watched the one where it was basically Kurt Cobain's last 4 days, but it wasn't. It's like called like The Lost Days or something like that.
All right.
With the guy who played.
He did one called Elephant as well, which is pretty good.
Oh, is that the school shooting movie?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I saw that. That was good.
Yeah.
He did the remake of Psycho, apparently.
Oh God, that movie's terrible.
The remake of Psycho?
Yeah, with fucking Vince Vaughn.
I thought it. I mean, I don't like the fact that it's remade, but it's pretty much like shot for shot a remake. So it
that's cool. I didn't
be
know that.
bad. Yeah, pretty much is.
That's pretty cool. That's cool as in like an ode to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was the knock on it when it was released, is that it was a cut for cut. If that movie's already been made, why are you making it again with Vince Vaughn?
Exactly.
Just leave it alone.
Yeah,
with Vince Vaughn. Yeah. It should have been like
true.
Danny DeVito or something.
Right? Throw us for a loop, man. Make it, I don't know, Danny Glover or something. Fuck it.
Oh yeah, make it a little racially,
or make it
different.
a woman and she dresses like a man. And her father was the one that was dead. You know, switch
There
it
you
up.
go. Put
Yeah.
a twist.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah, there it is. Make Gilbert
Perfect.
Gottfried the
There you
mom.
go. Right.
And Danny DeVito the son.
Perfect. What great casting.
Wait, isn't the mom dead the whole time though?
Yeah.
So why?
Right. Yeah. Well,
it's just
yeah.
It's just his
so
voice.
it's just yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man,
just the voice, exactly.
that would drive
Yeah.
anyone crazy. So yeah.
Son, you can't go around killing people.
And then the corpse upstairs in the attic is just Gilbert Gottfried, like made up to look like he's dead. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. Or it's literally just a skeleton, but the Gilbert voice,
Right.
Emanating from it. Yeah,
Right,
there
yeah.
you go. That's
Just dubbed
terrifying.
over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good thing
Oh,
we
I
don't
got
make
one more
movies.
thing to say about Good Will Hunting.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, just the fact that like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, because they're the writers of that movie, that they just like put themselves on the scene of like in Hollywood, you know,
Right.
like, and then they get Robin Williams to star in that role. It's just magic, you know.
You know how
Awesome.
it all. So the reason that they got it made by Miramax is entirely. You can thank Good Will Hunting. You can thank Kevin Smith for Good Will Hunting. Miramax was like their flagship guy. He was their big boy because of his Clerks movies, Dogma, and all that stuff that came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Ben Affleck and Kevin Smith were friends, and Ben sent him the script for Good Will Hunting, and he read it while he was on the toilet, and he loved it so much he told Miramax, "Get this greenlit, get this going, get whoever to direct it, but this needs to be made." And he was basically the one that pushed him, and so yeah, that's why Ben Affleck and Matt Damon appeared in what is it, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. That's why there's a joke on all that stuff. So yeah, that's why they're still friends today, although they were not friends for a little while. But Ben Affleck and Kevin Smith are pretty tight. All right, and that's why Ben Affleck he shows up in a number of other Kevin Smith movies, but yeah, still. All right, we will now move on to worst movies of 1997. Just gonna get the first one out of the way. Batman and Robin, one of the worst movies of all time.
Oh yeah.
Batman and Robin, fucking terrible. Another worst movie. I feel like I'm just gonna have to move through these, a lot of them, because there's so many. I mean,
unless I object for some reason.
Yes.
Okay, Con Air.
I don't know.
Con Air.
Con Air's great. What are you talking
Con Air
about?
is fantastic.
It's a terrible fucking movie.
Oh, such a good movie.
No, it's terrible. It's not. It's campy. It's good for us because it's nostalgic. If that movie were
so
released today,
good.
you wouldn't watch it.
Oh no. I watched it a couple years ago and I still enjoyed it.
That's of course.
Yeah, I watched it like 2 years ago. I loved it.
Yeah,
It's nostalgia.
So
No,
That's what I'm saying.
no, I don't.
That's what I'm
holds
saying.
up.
No, it holds up.
Well, I throw out no. Con Air for me was a worst movie
John
of '97.
Malkovich. Dave Chappelle's in that too, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Steve
Yeah.
Buscemi, John
Yeah.
Cusack,
Yeah.
Dude,
John
such a
Malkovich,
good movie,
Cyrus
dude.
the Virus.
Cyrus drop the bunny, drop the bunny. You know, and the how do I that song.
So-
I'm coming home to my ladies.
And then
You know.
Monica Potter. I mean, come on. What a good cast. Good cast.
Yeah. We'll move on now.
I mean,
Nicolas Cage,
okay.
best movie.
Oh, you think that's his best?
His best movie.
What?
Con
I don't
Air.
know about that.
Yes.
We're moving on.
I think we need to move on. Yeah.
Another worst movie of 1997, Scream 2. It's fucking terrible movie.
I never saw it.
It's the same as the first
Me
one.
neither.
They're in college. No, I think one person dies that didn't die before. Like the guy that basically was what's his name? Jamie Kennedy character. Scream 2. He dies in Scream 2. That's
Is that
about
the one
it.
with Jennifer Love Hewitt?
No, that's in 2 movies from this. So give it a second.
Oh, okay.
Scream 2 is with Courtney Cox, David Arquette. What's that girl's name? I can't think of it.
Oh, Nev Campbell.
Nev Campbell.
That's
Right.
Oh, there you go.
You find out that Aunt Jackie from there's a lot of noise in the background there. You find out Aunt Jackie from Roseanne and her son are the killers or something. I don't know. It's not good.
Like the universes are the same.
They're connected.
Roseanne
yeah.
and Scream 2.
She took a hiatus.
Whoa.
Yeah. I don't. Lori Metcalf.
Let's unpack that.
Lori Metcalf and some other guy. I can't remember his name. But I think it's Josh Duhamel. I might be incorrect with that. I don't know. Anyway, not a good movie. Scream 2, really bad. Not worth watching. We'll move on now to another terrible movie of 97. Flubber.
Oh,
yeah.
Holy shit.
Robin Williams. The highs
saw
and
that
the
in
lows.
theaters. And I
used
think
to love that movie when I was a kid.
Yeah, I think I loved it too. I don't really remember it though.
I saw it for once and I hated it, and so that's why it made my list.
Yeah, Robin Williams is crazy in that movie.
Yeah, he's like a mad scientist, and he makes some green blob that jumps around and causes havoc,
right,
or something.
It's kind of like what is it? Slam Dunk Ernest, when he's got those shoes that allow him to like do whatever. There's like a scene similar to that in Flubber where the goo gets on some shoes and he's able to jump really high and do all these dunks, and it's
isn't it like the last?
Stupid,
that's like the last
nuts.
scene of the movie, isn't it? Like the big finale of the movie is like basketball game where Flubber is helping, right?
I believe so.
I'm not
Probably.
Sure. Space
that sounds right?
Yeah.
Sounds
probably.
Like Space Jam.
Yeah,
Space Jams. Yeah,
terrible.
Same concept.
All right, we'll move on because I don't want to talk too much.
Those universes are colliding.
Flubber sucks. Another personal or worst selection, worst movie. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Another terrible slasher. The only reason it's around, Scream is basically the cause of that movie.
Yeah, there were a lot of those slasher movies because of Scream.
Because of Scream. And then the sequel to that one was I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, which doesn't make any fucking sense.
I think I vaguely remember.
It doesn't make any sense because I Still Know What You Did. It wouldn't have been last summer. It would have been the summer before last.
It'd have been that summer that happened.
No, and then the third one is I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer, I believe.
And then I think you're right. And it still isn't last summer. It's the summer before the summer before that summer.
And then it keeps going, and it ends up being like, "What did you do again last summer?"
So the timeline doesn't exist within like a few
2
months.
summers
Yeah, it doesn't.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like,
well, it becomes really confusing. Like, what did you do again last summer?
Yeah, exactly. Was it the summer before last? Or is it the summer we're in now?
Oh my god.
I still know what you did in 1997.
The summer of 97.
That's just what you call it.
I vaguely remember someone getting like zip tied in a what was it? A tanning booth in one of those movies, and that always freaked me out. I never wanted to go in a tanning booth. Ever since.
That's right. That was the second one.
Yeah.
That's why you're so pale today.
Yeah.
Yep. This is the reason, because the what they knew what I did the summer before the last summer.
Yes.
Wait, what now?
We'll move
Don't
on.
worry
Doesn't
about
matter.
it.
We're moving on. All right. Another worst movie of 97, Dante's Peak. Fuck out of here with this movie.
What? That movie's awesome.
No. God damn it.
It's a fucking exploding volcano. Well, what more do you need in a movie?
Yeah, that's
Plot.
a good movie.
Pierce Brosnan, Linda Hamilton.
Right.
Come on.
Okay. And in Dante's Peak, I believe it's the scene they're on a boat and the water is turned like acidic or something like that, and like the grandma jumps out and she's like, oh, it's like carrying the kids to the get the fuck out of here. Dead.
Oh yeah, she jumps
Dead.
out to like help pull the boat to
Right.
the shore.
Yeah,
Yeah. Burns
dead.
her legs up.
Yeah, but she's all right. Dead. It's so ridiculous.
I mean, it was her fault that they went, because the kids went up to save her because she's all like, "Oh, this is my mountain. This is my property," and she refused to leave.
Right. And
then lava started coming into her living room, and then they left.
And Pierce Brosnan's trying to get with Linda Hamilton, and he's like, "This is a lot.
Oh yeah, he is.
I'm doing a lot here for just that." So,
and you got 2 kids on top of it.
right,
I don't know about this.
And let them burn. So,
And
I gotta be
Terminator
honest.
coming after you.
I gotta be.
Oh yeah.
I gotta be honest though. Dante's Peak, or there's another one. I'm not sure which one's worse, but we're moving on now to another worst movie of 97.
Oh, I know what this is.
Anaconda. No, it's a little bit further. A little bit further down the line.
Okay, a little bit further. Right.
Yeah, Anaconda, terrible movie. Ice Cube,
Yeah,
J-Lo,
that's a pretty bad one.
John
agree
Voight
with
in
that
some
one.
ridiculous accent that doesn't make any sense. Where the fuck is this guy from? I believe Owen Wilson is also in Dante's Peak, or not Dante's, on Anaconda.
For a minute, before he gets eaten by the snake.
Yeah, he was lucky.
The Anaconda.
Anaconda's a fucking terrible movie. Definitely
Yes,
worth
it
a
is.
bad movie night, but nothing else. Move on now to another one because we still got like 15 more. Jungle to Jungle. Another terrible movie of
Tim Allen.
'97.
Yeah.
Never saw it, but
really
hear
stupid
it's
fucking
bad.
movie. Yep. Tim Allen had a kid apparently in the movie, but his wife never told him, who was raising him to be on some village, I don't know. He goes to the jungle because he's got to get fully divorced so he can get married again. Takes the kid back to New York. He gets involved with the Russian mafia, and he's a stock salesman. I
As
don't
you
know.
would, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a really stupid movie. Don't watch it. We'll move on now. Another one of the worst movies of 1997 to like go in line with Batman and Robin, maybe even worse than Batman and Robin. It probably is. Spawn, the movie Spawn, released in
Never watched it.
1997. That is a fucking terrible movie.
It is pretty bad.
Terrible fucking movie.
I like that movie.
Have you watched it recently?
I did too.
It's a cult classic, bro. I love that movie.
That's all right.
Yeah, I think Sly is unfortunately right.
That's all right.
Yeah.
It's
clown
unfortunately
guy,
right.
Everything about that movie.
Unfortunately right.
John Leguizamo is clown.
Right.
Yeah. And God, they got fucking Martin Sheen in there somehow.
I know. The president from The West Wing is this the most awful looking goatee you've ever seen, the most awful fake hair dye or wig or whatever the hell's going on. Like just for men, like to the extreme.
Oh God, and then
it looks so
at
phony.
the end, when he goes to hell and like Satan shows up, it's like it looks like graphics from like a Super Nintendo game or something.
That's what I'm talking. It's
so
so bad.
terrible looking.
Yeah,
dude, it's so good. I love this. It's a good movie. I don't love this movie, but I like this movie.
It's a new date.
Don't say you love it. Do not say that.
All right, you love it.
I
Make
like
it
this movie.
next date night. Make Spawn the movie you watch. Yeah, see how that goes.
It has romance in it, yeah, because he died
Yeah.
and wants to get back with Wanda or whatever the fuck her name is.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think it's Wanda. We'll move on now because that, like I said, we got so many more.
Yeah.
So many more. Another terrible movie, one of the worst movies of 1997, Speed 2, Cruise Control. Speed, the movie all about speed and having to go a certain speed, is on a cruise cruise boat.
It's a boat. Yeah, it's a boat.
Yeah, it was
Going
a boat that time, yeah.
Like 15 knots or whatever it is. It's not even going. It's barely going at all. Like literally, it crashes into like the coast, and it goes through like a pier or two into a building, and that's it. There's nothing quick about it. It does give William Dafoe gives a awesome performance, but that's it. Cruise Control, not good.
Yeah, they got Sandra Bullock back, but
They
not
did.
Keanu Reeves.
Even Keanu knew. He knew. Move on now to is it the better of the two? We'll see. Volcano, another terrible movie of 1997 with Tommy Lee Jones, where apparently there's a volcano hidden underneath Los Angeles. In this movie, kind of like the grandma in Dante's Peak, there's some guy in the
it has the
subway.
No, that's not just some guy. That's I'll get back to you.
There's some guy hold this like being like I don't know, like a bridge for himself or to other people. He jumps in the lava and he's like, oh, he's just like slowly going down like the Wicked Witch of the West as the people are climbing into his arms and he's throwing them to safety. It's fucking stupid.
What an inspiring moment.
Yeah.
That's John Carroll Lynch, the Zodiac killer from Zodiac. Same actor.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, it was a subway and the lava was like going underneath it and coming out like the back of it where he was trying to he tries to jump. He barely makes it. It just like lands right in the lava. Yeah, and he just melts straight down into it. But he has enough strength to throw the person he's holding clear of the lava.
Yes.
And then you just
fucking
watch him
ridiculous.
slowly melt down into it until it hits like his abdomen, and then he just freezes and then he's dead, which would not happen at all. You don't melt into lava,
right?
But oh my god, I don't
Yeah,
know.
so I
think,
like
Jesus.
that movie. I loved that movie in 1997. I loved it, but I probably wouldn't like it now, but I did love it then.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching it and being like, "This wasn't a bad movie," and then I watched it again. I'm like, "No, this is a terrible movie. Holy fuck! It doesn't make any sense
I always
scientifically."
quote that movie when I'm at work with the how everyone's like all the same color and shit because they're
at the end
they
of the
got
movie,
grease on them and everything. I'm like,
Yeah.
everyone looks the same.
Right.
And you're the only one that gets that reference.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you remember how the movie we still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more movies. Real quick here. So, but to solve the problem of the lava, there's a building that they were building, and they decided to demolish it so the cement would block the path and force the lava into the Pacific Ocean. Right. And wouldn't happen to know it that the guy's like daughter was like in this building while it was ready to be demolished. They had to get her out at the last second to save it before the bomb goes off. And it's just this ridiculous. Fucking, I hated it. Terrible movie.
Well, yeah, like what Sly brought up, they put like an unnecessary like racial thing in there too.
Yeah,
right.
Because that was like the message at the end. It's like, oh, we all look the same. We're all gray. Yeah, we're all covered in ash. Everyone looks the same.
I'm no longer racist. Yeah, how about that? We'll move on now.
Yeah,
to,
please do.
Alien Resurrection, fucking terrible movie. Ripley's brought back again, and it turns out she's the mother to an alien. They took her DNA and fused it with an alien DNA to create some human alien hybrid, which I think if you watch Prometheus, that was kind of already the deal to begin with. If I think that's how it went, but so it doesn't make any fucking sense. So, Alien Resurrection stars obviously Sigourney Weaver and what's her name? Heather's Stranger Things. The mom.
Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder. Yeah, Winona Ryder's in that
She's
movie.
in there.
Yeah, Winona Ryder and
that one really ugly guy's in there too, right? The ugly guy, like the square head.
That's so many.
Ron Perlman.
Oh,
right?
Ron Perlman. Yeah, he's one of the he's one of the Marines that gets it. Yeah, another selection of Marines to die. We'll move on now because we still got a lot.
Just go.
Probably the worst movie in 1997. Don't feel terrible saying it. Even it's a strong field, but good lord, Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Saw that in theaters.
Saw that in theaters as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I liked it back in '97.
I did as well.
Hard watch these days, though. Very hard watch.
Pretty sure our dad hated it. I think he took John and I to go see Mortal Kombat Annihilation. We went to go see a movie, and I wanted to see Annihilation, and so did John.
I think we mentioned in a previous podcast, the one where we talked about the first Mortal Kombat, and we mentioned Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and just, my dad just being like, man, I picked the wrong time to quit drinking. Just having to put him through all these terrible movies as kids.
The famous line, or the infamous line, now I should say, where she's like, Mother, you're alive. Too bad. You will die. And I'm like, what the fuck? And the CGI, the dragons at the end fighting, it's all terrible.
The dragon doesn't even make any fucking sense.
Absolute shit movie. Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Can't say enough bad things about it.
Yeah.
Why there's no Mortal Kombat movie till like March of last year, which actually was pretty good.
But man, if you were a fan of Rain, or Ermac,
you love to see it. Yeah. All the extra
all of those extra characters were in there from like Mortal Kombat 3 or Mortal Kombat. Yeah, it would have been Mortal Kombat 3 at the time.
I believe so, or 4.
Is this when they introduced all the robots and?
Yeah, that's right. Because 4 wouldn't come out till '98, so Mortal Kombat
4 was the one that was in 3D. It wasn't a flat 2D.
3D, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 4 was 3D. Yeah.
Prior to that, it was just kind of like how they.
Yeah, it was like like Street Fighter or whatever, just flat.
All right, we'll move on now to Air Bud, another terrible movie of 1997. Air Bud, the dog plays basketball. Nobody says, blinks an eye. No, it's such a shitty, stupid idea, and it made money. And
horrible movie.
And people it's the slow decaying of humanity. We'll move on now to another reason for that. Good Burger. Another terrible movie
Oh
of
God,
1997.
please move on.
It didn't matter how many. I mean, I tried my best to get as, let's say, quote unquote, prepared to watch this movie. I had a number of
Nothing could
different.
prepare you.
Nothing. It Drop Dead Fred or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know what
that
that
of the
is.
90s.
I
Good
like
Burger.
Drop Dead Fred.
God, I hate that movie. Good Burger, fucking terrible movie.
What a
I never
horrible
saw
cast.
it, so
Yeah, terrible. I added this movie just on the title alone. Never seen it, but I'm just gonna throw it in there. I guarantee you, it's terrible. Another terrible movie of 1997, The Beautician and the Beast. The Beautician and the Beast. Title alone. Judging that.
Is that like a porno parody or something?
No, that's a rom-com about somebody who's like a hairdresser and kind of a spoof on Beauty and the Beast. I'm taking it. But The Beautician and the Beast. Terrible movie. Just judging it on title.
It's Fran Drescher and Timothy Dalton. Weird.
Yeah. So we'll move on now. We only got a few left here. Double Team. Another terrible movie of 1997. Double Team with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dennis Rodman.
Oh, yeah.
Did we watch this?
Yeah.
I feel like we watched this.
We did watch this.
Yeah, we did watch it.
Baller suggestion.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was a baller movie. Oh
Double
my
Team.
God.
This is why Dennis Rodman attacks the cameraman, isn't it?
Did he say he liked the movie or hated it? I can't imagine. I remember him attacking the cameraman and kicking him.
Yeah, so do I, but I never learned the reason. I didn't know.
Oh, probably because he
this.
learned how to fight in Double Team.
Oh, God. Yeah, that was a pretty solid round kick. There.
That was a very good kick, yeah. But right to that guy's like groin area for some reason.
Yeah, put him out on a stretcher.
I don't know if that was the reason. I think that was just Dennis Rodman being an angry asshole.
Yeah. No, we got two more left now for worst movies of 1997. All right. Warriors of Virtue. Warriors of Virtue. What's that movie? If you don't remember, it is a bunch of kangaroo ninjas.
Yeah, like the kangaroos.
Do I need to say more?
What?
Dude, I love that movie when I was
Universally
young.
panned, critically, commercially, didn't make a dime. The
Dude,
name
I
alone
wish
is the
Christian
best
was
part of
on
the
this.
movie. Yeah, Warriors of Virtue. I think it's got like an 18% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's just
What the fuck am I looking at right now?
yeah.
So they're
one
like
of the best movies.
They're like kangaroo Power Rangers, looks like.
Basically, yeah.
They're all different colors and they're anthropomorphic kangaroo people.
Jesus.
I remember
Me and
wanting to see
Christian
this.
love this movie.
Well, hey, you know what? That's okay if you're a kid, you know.
We loved it. We would act it out and everything.
Yeah,
No
I-
way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking incredible.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Yes. Yeah, go see Warriors of Virtue. It's something. And the last worst movie of 97 and a long list of terrible fucking movies. The movie Steel with
Shaq?
with
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh god.
In the comic books, Steel is the guy that takes over when Superman dies. And so that's played by Shaquille O'Neal, who again does his best to ham it up in front of the screen. A universally panned movie. Again, 1997 is a crazy year for movies in terms of how bad it is. I think it's the worst year of the 90s for movies. It had some good ones, don't get me wrong. It had some classics. It had some of my all-time favorites, actually. But the overall feel I got from 97 is just, this is such a shitty year for movies. It gets a lot better. By the year 1999 might be the best year ever for movies. It might be.
Well, yeah.
It's so many
That's
good
like
ones.
The ultimate culmination of the 90s.
Yeah, it's so good. It's not even fair, but 97 is definitely, I would say, the low point. When the best top grossing movie of the year is Men in Black. Yeah.
Men in Black is great. Whatever, man.
Yeah. It's just I just don't see it. But all right.
Dante's Peak is good too, god damn it.
Oh yeah.
Con Air, yeah, all these movies are
Con Air is
Con
good
Air
too,
is
god damn
good.
it.
Gold.
Face Off is good.
Spawn. Good
Nice.
night.
Hey,
Oh.
Spawn's all right.
You guys are on something. All right. Well, all right.
Yeah,
That'll do
on
it.
the right track.
That's right, Sly.
That'll do it for
We're gonna
movies.
start our own podcast.
Boycott.
It's on the right track to destruction.
The right track of
You can
history.
talk about how much you love Spawn somewhere else. All right. Just joking. We'll now move on. Well, that'll do it for movies of 1997.
All right.
And we will now move into music of 1997.
Here is the music of the 90s.
All right. And the albums that went number one in 1997, you guys can already guess one of them. Spice Girls Spice, number one album of 1997.
Yeah.
Another album that went number one in 97, No Doubt's Tragic Kingdom, maintained that. They continued to go number one. That album was huge. The Notorious B.I.G.'s Life After Death, the posthumous album, was also an album that went number one. Garth Brooks' Sevens went number one in 97. The Men in Black official soundtrack went number one in 97.
Of course it did.
It had that awesome Will Smith song, We Are the Men in Black. Had to hear that everywhere.
And what else?
I don't
What
remember.
else was on there?
What else was on there? That's all I remember.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
it. Yeah, that's it. It was enough to go number one in 97. Also, Puff Daddy and the Family's No Way Out album got number one in 97. Pretty sure that had to do with the song that was an ode to Biggie Smalls. Also, Aerosmith's Nine Lives went number one in 97.
Dude, fuck if I know.
Yeah. My personal album picks of 1997. Let's just start with, I'll go from the bottom to the top. Ben Folds 5, Whatever and Ever, Amen. I chose that for an album of 97. It has the song Brick on it. And, God, what is it called? Can't think of the other name.
I'm vaguely familiar with Ben Folds.
Yeah, it's a pretty good album.
He's got a lot of good stuff, yeah.
Yep. Another one I got to choose. There wasn't too many, I'd say, for 97, so I put this on there. But Metallica's Reload, put it on there.
Reload.
Yeah, got some out.
There's a
Good
couple.
songs.
It's not as good as Load, and I would have
No.
had a lot to say about Load on the previous episode, but I wasn't on it. Reload's got some hidden gems on it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Where the Wild Things Are and Fixer, the very last song, is fucking awesome. So yeah, I don't know. There's some good stuff on there, but mostly just kind of blah.
Yeah, for sure. Another album I chose, the Foo Fighters, The Color and the Shape.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That's a great album.
Yeah, I believe that's the one with Everlong, right?
And My Hero,
all that stuff. Yeah.
Monkey, what's it
I don't know
called?
if Monkey Wrench. I don't know if Monkey Wrench was on that one.
Oh, no, it is, right?
Is that one?
Trackless. Yep, Monkey Wrench.
Monkey Wrench, yeah. So that's
My
yeah.
Hero,
Oh,
yeah,
what am I thinking of?
Everlong, yeah.
There's a song that they had released on the other album prior to that. That
Learn
was
to
like
Fly?
no, it was it was made into like basically like a Mentos commercial spoof for the music video. That song I can't think of it.
That I don't know.
Yeah, it actually Dave Grohl had written it while he was a drummer of Nirvana, and they had it. It was going to be a Nirvana song, but obviously Kurt Cobain died, and that all fell apart. But yeah, the Foo Fighters, The Color and the Shape, excellent album. Probably their best. I don't think it gets better from there. It gets just as good and goes downhill.
Yeah.
Let's see, another personal album pick. Green Day's Nimrod. Chose that. Yep. One of the he used the Time of Your Life song was everywhere. A TV show would use that as their theme for their final episode in a year. Seinfeld. A lot of classics on that. But certainly that song totally changed people's perceptions of Green Day. Obviously, prior to that, just all pop punk songs, 3-chord songs, 4/4, nothing crazy.
Right.
Then they get this ballad kind of sorts, and it kind of changed the whole perception of who Green Day was and who they could be. So I think from that album, you get Warning and whatnot. Go on.
Oh, no, Nice Guys Finished Last.
Yeah.
Hitching a Ride.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Grouch.
Yeah.
Redundant. Yeah. There's some good stuff on there.
Yep. Pretty good album. One of my favorite albums of the 90s, I'd say. It's got a lot of good songs. It's probably more nostalgia more than anything, but I do think they are good. Third Eye Blind's debut album, Third Eye Blind.
I mean, yeah, that was.
Yeah, that's pretty much. It's got all the classics, all the big Third Eye Blind hits that everyone knows. So I mean, how do you not include that?
If you want it's like if you want the '90s like distilled into like a sound, it would be like that album.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Semi Charmed Life. How's it gonna be? Graduate. I think all that stuff. All right. No, got two more here for personal album picks of '97. Sigur Ros's debut album, Vaughn. I chose that. It's the weakest of all of them, but it's their debut album.
Yeah,
but it's still.
I skip that one usually.
Yeah, most people do, but I cannot not include it. So,
fair enough.
Really though, the number one pick of '97, easy pick for me. Should probably already know what it's going to be. Was Radiohead's OK Computer, my favorite album of the '90s. Before I go off about it, if you have anything you want to say, Brad, Sly, Nick, if you've listened to the album.
Good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest albums of all time, I'd say. It's like the '90s Dark Side of the Moon.
Yep.
It's like huge. I mean, it's bleak. It's like futuristic. It's existential. It's man, I don't know. It's fucking brilliant, is what it is. All the way through. It's perfect.
You have a favorite track or favorite part off a track that really sticks out to you, Brad?
I'm trying to think of a song where it breaks down. Dun 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 dun. Is that the one that breaks down and then it's all like
Paranoid Android?
Yeah, okay. That breakdown, that haunting like chorus of Tom York's.
Yeah. Oh yeah, who's I saying?
Yeah, like that's yes, yep, exactly, yep. Yeah, that gives me fucking goosebumps when I listen to it. It's so good.
Compared to like Bohemian Rhapsody and how many changes it has and breaks down, so like it's like a whole new song for a second and then jumps right back into it's just really good.
I always like related with like Subterranean, Homesick, Alien.
Oh yeah,
it's like the guy just like I wish that they come down to the country lane where late at night while I'm driving and take me aboard their beautiful ship, show me things. I can't remember the lyrics, but it's just like, yeah, the aliens come down and show you all this awesome shit and and show the human race how they what was it? Lock up their spirits and live for their secrets, talking about humans. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's I don't know. I really liked the lyrics to that one.
Nick, you got any personal favorite stuff of for OK Computer?
Yeah, the first song I actually ever heard by Radiohead was No Surprises, and that was on the album. And it's probably my favorite song on that album because of that. I really like the lyrics to that song. But the first time I heard it was actually on like a World of Warcraft video. And they were fighting like this boss in Molten Core, like the last boss in Molten Core, as a frost mage. So I actually got to recently, years later though, very recently, got to basically reenact that fight, the same boss, but I put that song on.
Oh, nice.
And it brought me back to that moment. And it was great. It was really great. So yeah, I love that album, and that's probably my favorite song. Yeah.
Sly?
Yeah, I never really got super into Radiohead until recently, which is crazy. But my dog's freaking out right now. Sorry.
All right.
I was reading about this album, and they were saying like it was so different from what they had done before, and people were like sketchy of it at first, and they weren't like accepting it, and then it became one of the best albums of all time, and they actually like preserved it in like a Library of Congress or something, so where
right. Yeah,
it's like it's a huge thing, and there's not many albums that get put into something like that. So like
Right.
if we were to ever die as human beings, you know, they would be able to still hear OK Computer. And that's
which would lift their spirits for sure.
Yeah, it's
Right.
it's awesome, and yeah, I love the album. So it's one of my favorites.
Say like you, Sly, I didn't really get into Radiohead as much as I am now, till like a couple years ago. Not sure exactly why. There was a number of songs that I like by them. I'm real finicky when it comes to like I got to be in a certain type of mood, be like, and you got to leave me alone so I can like absorb it, so I can like get into it. I can't have people distracting me with crap or whatever. I've got to be like isolated almost to like it's a weird sort of thing, but it's almost like it's like therapeutic in a way. It's like a meditation. Yeah. You can't be around a bunch of, for me I can't, noise. Just what's coming through the headphones. But I remember wanting to listen to it just off of a Black Mirror episode where the Shut Up and Dance at the end of the movie.
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
you could say
Exit music for a film.
Oh yeah.
That song plays, and I'm just kind of like, I really like this, and so
it's great.
It's so haunting. And then I come to find out that I'd heard that song prior to that,
right?
At the end of Romeo and Juliet, the Baz Luhrmann film. The reason that song was written for that movie,
right?
But they insisted to take it off the official soundtrack because they wanted to use it for their next album, which was OK Computer. And it's recorded. The song "Exit Music" is recorded, I believe. Tom did the vocals on a staircase, so there's this echo to the whole thing. Not only just the reverb that they use, but like where he sings it, it just sounds like he's like in a, like I said, like a hallway or something. And it really comes through.
Right.
And you find out the song is basically it's basically Romeo and Juliet is this what the song's about. And you know, we hope you choke is referring to the poison that she drinks, you know, stuff like that. You know, it's all this stuff. And I just remember thinking like, man, this is such a like there's certain types of songs, certain music that just are like atmospheric. They just put you in a place, immediately put you there, and that album does it. It changes like your whole perception of what's going on around you. It just puts you in a different headspace. My favorite song on the whole album is probably the one right after, I believe, or before or after Exit Music for a Film, Let Down.
Yeah.
It's such a phenomenal song. And Tom sings the song in a certain monotone-esque voice to try and emulate all the automation around him, the futuristic world that's going on.
Bleak future.
The bleak, everyone's kind of like, he got the idea when he was watching everyone, like, it was at some club, and everyone was kind of like melancholy-esque, but they're all holding on to their drinks. And so there's a line in the song about him holding on to bottles or something like that, drifting from the ceiling. It's just kind of like this. He made him laugh. So, but the whole album from front to back, even what I like sometimes will joke and say that Stephen Hawking makes a guest appearance where he like on
Fitter Happier.
Yeah, right. So someone actually believe me. Really, Stephen? I guess so. It's the same voice or whatever, but.
Fitter, happier, more productive, not drinking too much.
Right. It's a whole thing,
Yeah, it's a whole like instruction booklet for your life, and it's really depressing.
And the very last song, I can't remember the name of the song, but it's like
The Tourist?
The Tourist, yeah. Yeah, where it's just like, hey, man, slow down. Yeah, just
Yep.
So good. And it just keeps hitting, and it's just a phenomenal album from front to back.
It's perfect all the way through. Yeah.
Best album of the 90s.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll agree to that.
Thomas York to me he's saying, like, when he sings, it's like it's just different from other people. Like his voice is an instrument.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's just, he reminds me of the guy from which I actually liked this band before Radiohead was. Muse, the Matthew Bellamy, I think his name is.
Okay.
Yeah, Matt Bellamy.
He kind of has the same kind of voice. Yeah.
Yeah, like they're just instruments, to me. They're not like just normal singing. I love their voices.
You bring that up, and someone pointed out to me, like, I think it might have been Brad, but like Coldplay, there's this very similar way of that Chris Martin sings and that the guy from Muse sings that I'm like, where did they pick that up? Well, Radiohead. That's Radiohead.
Yeah, it's like kind of like nasally, kind of. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah.
Like a high
to me, it's
sort
just
of thing. Yeah, and it's
yeah. To me, it's just like, oh, they sound like Tom York. Yeah.
Yep, Tom York.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll move on now to the worst albums of 1997. Spice Girls released another album, Spice World. So that made the list. Spice World. Backstreet Boys, Backstreet's Back. That's just nostalgia. It's the only reason anybody likes it because it's kind of fun. Yeah, I remember this when I was younger.
I love the Backstreet Boys, dude.
Yeah, they're good.
But
they're a bunch of good. They're good.
Good old boys.
Well, yeah, they're the good old boys.
Good old boys.
When you're on your own, when you're sitting in your apartment, do you turn on the Backstreet Boys and just hang out?
No.
Do you turn on the Backstreet Boys for anything other than nostalgia? Or you're at a party and you want to get people singing and having a good time. That's what it's there for. And I don't deny that it. Oh, Fly's like I have.
Yeah, I really have. Actually, when I got my wedding ring for my wife,
yeah,
the reason I got that ring was because a Backstreet Boys song came on, and it was a Backstreet Boys that me and my wife sung in my car.
Well, that's
every time it comes on.
That's cheating. That's but
Dude,
I get you.
We love the Backstreet Boys.
All right. Wife. Well, let her know that I
go.
put them
That's
on
perfect. Then you picked the perfect moment. Then yeah.
For sure.
It's a we thing. We love the Backstreet Boys. Like just like we're pregnant. Right?
I've definitely sang their song in my car by myself. So.
They are awfully catchy.
Oh, for sure. I
And they're such well-groomed, well-dressed men. They're good for the whole family. Even grandma will like them.
Yeah, right.
And the beats.
Oh yeah. Well, this is the first album they released in the United States. Prior to that, they released like worldwide, somewhere like other countries or whatnot. So that's why the song's Backstreet's Back. They're like, back. We didn't know you were here in the first place. We didn't know you left. What the hell are you talking about? But that's why worst albums, definitely. Moving on now. Chumbawamba Tub Thumping. Also another worst album in 97. I've actually listened to that whole album. It is garbage.
Yeah, what is the rest of that album besides I Get Knocked Down or whatever?
Nothing. It's songs,
Oh,
I guess.
okay.
I feel like it's very avant-garde. You guys just don't get it.
That's probably it. That's probably what it is.
That has to be it.
Perfect.
Speaking of avant-garde, and you guys just don't get it. Aqua's Aquarium was fucking released. Aqua, that fucking Euro trash band.
Barbie Girl?
Yes, Barbie
Right?
Girl. Yes, is on that
Yeah,
album.
dude, fuck yeah, that's a great song.
Moving on. We're gonna
Okay.
Will Smith's Big Willie Style. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, of course, he's all over the
worst
fucking
album
place.
of 97. One of them. Hanson's Middle of Nowhere made it one of the worst albums of 97. 98 Degrees is 98 Degrees. One of the worst albums of 97.
Oh man, the boy band battles.
Yes, it's starting to pick up. We've got the Insane Clown
Fuck
Posse.
98 Degrees.
The Great Malenko.
That's
90,
that one's all right.
Yeah.
I'm not a juggler or anything, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's on the worst albums of 97. One of them.
Okay.
And now one of maybe the worst, but maybe not. Certainly up there. Last one I've got for worst albums of 1997. Limp Bizkit's $3 Bill, y'all.
Fuck yeah.
God, what a shitty band and an even shittier album.
Oh, dude.
What songs are even on that one?
Faith, Counterfeit.
Oh, well, Faith was a cover, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That's George Michael. Actually woke someone up. Someone went to a bachelor party with a friend's bachelor party, not Sly's, but he needed to get up because we had to leave.
Oh no.
And I was like, I know it'll get him up, and I put on his Bluetooth speakers loud as hell in his room and just played Faith at 100% volume.
By Limp Bizkit.
Yeah. And it's just
Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, I don't know. They're not really going to hit their stride until significant other. Like
Yes.
that's
Is that 1999?
I
Yes,
believe
it
so.
was.
Yeah, that was 99. Yeah. So yeah, $3 bill, y'all. Yep.
Woodstock.
Yes, we can talk about that too.
I watched the documentary. Yeah,
it's good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll.
I have a buddy at work who's obsessed, or he's not. I'm not just gonna say obsessed, but he loves Limp Bizkit.
Oh, really?
Dude, I'm like
unironically.
Yeah, like he said, his New Year's resolution is he wants to
Unapologetically?
go to concerts more, and his first concert he's going to is a Limp Bizkit concert.
Might be his last. God.
Actually, I saw them. They played at the last Lollapalooza, and I think they had it like streaming, or they had it on YouTube or something. I watched the Limp Bizkit performance, and I don't know, it was still pretty good.
Huh.
Fred Durst is like he's like an old man now, so he's like not jumping around or anything. He was dressed in like a yellow tracksuit, and he has gray hair, and I'm just like, okay, that's fine,
right?
That works.
Yeah,
I would say their drummer is pretty good. But
I always thought their guitar player was really good. Wes Borland, I think he's a really good guitar player. Unfortunately, stuck in Limp Bizkit.
Man, what'd you do for the Nookie? Christ.
Nookie Christ.
You did it all for the Nookie.
You did that a little more for the Nookie.
Oh, yes, of course. That and a little more, a little extra. A little bit more on the side for the Nookie, yes.
Yeah. Things you may regret or more for the Nookie. Yeah. More than you regret it. It's so bad you don't even regret it. All right. That'll do it for worst albums of 1997. We'll now move into top songs of 97. One of my favorite parts of the music section. Number one song in 1997. It's not Wannabe. It's not all. It's Candle in the Wind. Elton John. It was Princess Diana. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That is a good song.
Yeah.
It is.
It just so happens to be a good song. Yeah.
Right.
Let's see. Originally about Marilyn Monroe. Just switched up some lyrics. Kind of the same deal.
Oh, no shit.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't
No
know
idea.
that.
Goodbye, Norma Jean. Norma Jean is the real name of Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
Right.
Though you
Great
never
name,
knew me.
too.
Makes
Oh,
sense.
yeah. Bernie Taupin, the one who writes the songs.
Yeah, right.
He wanted it. He liked her when he was growing up. He's just a kid though, so it wasn't like anything like why people normally like Marilyn Monroe. And he wrote a basically like a poem about her, and Elton John did the rest. So my whole thing with Elton John with Bernie, because people get like upset when they find out that he didn't write the songs, as if it makes him somehow less.
That doesn't make
It
any
makes
fucking sense.
Their lyrics.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
literally it.
So my
He
poetic,
wrote the
my
music.
poetic
Yeah.
line of it is Bernie Taupin wrote the words, Elton John gave them meaning. That's what I said.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah, same with like a Rush. Like Neil Peart wrote all the lyrics.
Right, exactly.
And he just did the drumming.
Phenomenal.
I don't want to say
Yeah.
I don't want to say he just drummed, but you know,
Right, that's all
he
he
wrote all the lyrics too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get into that, but that's the whole thing. Another top song of 1997, You Were Meant for Me, / Foolish Games by Jewel.
For me.
Decent song.
Yeah. She wrote those when she was like 16. Yeah. Another top song, I'll Be Missing You, from Puff Daddy and Faith Evans, featuring 112. Just his Every Breath You Take from with the Police, but he did it for Puff, for Biggie Smalls. Yeah. I looked up, if I knew the lyrics, whatever I'd say, but I don't remember.
Every breath you take.
Yeah, that's. I'll be watching. I'll be missing you. It's not as creepy. So
it's not. I'll be watching you.
Yeah. Another top song of 1997.
I am watching you.
I'm watching you right now. Another top song of 97 is "How Do I Live" by Leanne Rimes for the Con Air.
Right.
Yeah.
I kind of really like that song.
I kind of really like it. You really like it. It's not even a kind of. It's okay.
Sort of like it a lot.
Do you listen to that in your apartment?
It's a really pretty song. Oh yeah. I listen to it by myself and just cry. Yeah.
Hold on to a teddy bear. Drop the teddy bear. Yeah. Drop the bunny. Yeah, sorry.
No, I think it's just a really, really pretty song. So yeah.
Speaking of pretty songs, we got "Wanna Be" by the Spice Girls. That was a top song. Yeah. So,
I mean, I like that song too. To
yeah,
be honest.
girl power, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was like a whole movement. "Quit Playing Games with My Heart" by the Backstreet Boys. That was a top song of '97.
Oh yeah.
Baby, baby.
Sing it, Sly.
That's the breakdown. I remember it was Christmas of '97. Had to have been Christmas. Maybe it was '98, because it seems like we were always like a year behind on things. It might have been '98. Anyway, but like
lacrosse was always a year behind on things.
It's not lacrosse. Definitely our family, at least.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I just figured lacrosse was.
That makes sense too. But I think my sister got Backstreet Boys album. Nick got an album, I think, as well. But I remember we didn't have many albums, so I was listening to the Backstreet Boys while playing, like, what was that crocodile game or something like that for the PlayStation? Or no, it was Spyro. Maybe it was Spyro. Yeah.
The Dragon.
The Dragon, yeah. Everyone was playing it. Yeah. Just remember listening to like that while watching that. It wasn't bad.
I feel like I don't know what album I got that year.
Did you get an album? I feel like you did.
What man, what grade would I have been in?
It might have been like Three Doors Down. We were that far away.
Right, yeah. Three Doors Down, yeah.
Which
that was
came out in like
second grade.
2001.
I was well, no, that was
like the album
was
with
it?
Three Doors Down was 2000s, man.
Was it?
Yeah. So I don't
I
know if
don't
we
remember that.
we're that far off, but there might have been another album
I
you got
remember
too. Maybe it was
in third grade I got I don't know how I got this album. I was actually thinking about this the other day. Had no idea like how the hell why mom bought me this album, even though it was the edited version. Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
Right, the title alone.
The title alone should
Yeah.
throw it away. I got third grade, I believe.
I remember.
Yeah.
Well,
that changed my life, man. The last song on that album was just music.
Right. It wasn't until years later.
It wasn't until years later I realized there's lyrics to that.
What was the song? Mother's Day?
I don't think it was Mother's Day. It was a different
Sly knows
one.
about Mother's Day.
Yeah, Yeah,
Oh,
that's such a great
yeah.
story. Oh God, that's one of the best stories ever. Such a great fucking story.
So Sly
What a good
illegally
story.
or legally, allegedly downloaded Mother's Day for his mother for Mother's Day. Had not bothered to listen to the song, and just decided, "Hey, Mom, I got you a song for Mother's Day." Plays. It starts off swell. Everyone's happy,
Yeah.
and then it takes a deep turn.
A real deep turn.
Yeah, that was 2001. Was Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
Yeah.
So that's like
And I'm not,
2001.
I'm not familiar with the song, and I'm looking at the lyrics, and oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Imagine
really
my
pretty. Yeah.
super nice saint of a mom
Yeah.
hearing that song for the
And
first
why
time.
is her son playing her this song?
I
This
mean-
one's for you, Mom.
Half of the song is okay. Like, yes, the chorus is fine, but the verse is not a little I don't know, little dicey there.
Oh, wasn't it Happy Holidays, you bastard?
Yeah.
That was on the same album,
It's Christmas
I believe.
Eve and I only got 2 fucking presents. Christmas Eve and so it just said your mom at the end or something like that.
Right. I fucked your mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, it just said your mom. That's it. End of it. So as a kid, I was like, yeah, your mom. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, your mom, dude.
Oh, to be young and naive again.
Yeah.
All right.
At recess, dude. Listen to that fucking album at recess.
At another top song of 1997, Bop by Hanson.
Yeah.
Bop. Yep.
Yeah.
That song was fucking everywhere. Our sister we weren't allowed to listen to music that we would want to listen to. Like if I wanted Metallica's Reload, which I did,
Well,
I wasn't allowed to listen to it. But Brittany got Hanson, she got Backstreet Boys, she got all these, and we had to listen to it in the car.
I got to
everywhere.
listen to my music too.
Yeah.
Like they let me pretty much, not all of it, obviously. They'd buy me the edited versions.
Right.
You know.
And I asked for songs and albums, they wouldn't give me anything. It was
Right.
it was rough.
Yeah, man, it's Metallica, man.
Yeah.
They got a bad reputation.
Yeah. My
Look at
dad.
Hanson, they're a bunch of blonde boys, you know.
Right.
Backstreet Boys are all nice-looking guys, and
Yeah.
Our dad was kind enough to, for our sake, he would get the Metallica albums and listen to them to make sure to see where the demonic stuff was coming from. He took that upon himself.
demonic stuff.
Yeah, because they were possessed by the devil.
He's basically exercising the cassettes.
Yeah, he was doing that for our sake. So we want to thank him.
He did not know a thing about like heavy music.
No, well,
there were bands at the time way worse than Metallica.
Oh, infinitely worse. That all stems from the satanic panic of the 80s.
Oh yes,
and our family, or my dad's side at least, coming up with the idea that it was the Ozzy Osbourne, the Black Sabbath, the Led Zeppelins, everything that he listened to in the 70s that caused him to have bad decisions.
Right.
It was all part of that. So yeah, Metallica was.
Speaking of the satanic panic of the 80s, I remember asking my dad about that because I listened to another podcast about it, and it's just like, yeah, sorry, and so I asked my dad, I'm like, Dad, do you remember anything? There being news stories about a satanic panic, like Satanists were coming around and they were gonna take all your kids, and he's like, no, but they could have if they wanted to. Like, oh, thanks, Dad.
I could have gone with one less. Whatever.
Yeah. Oh, if they came around, yeah, they could have had you. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
would have made my
firstborn
life
son.
easier.
Exactly.
All right, we'll move on to For You I Will by Monica, another top song of 97. That was a junior high dance staple.
Yeah.
For You I Will by Monica.
Remember those awkward times?
Oh yeah. Yeah, hands on the hips, asses way far out apart, just doing like a sidestep, sort of like
all while having a raging
like
boner.
Right? It was the boner couldn't touch. Yeah, so we had let's see.
You know what I'm talking about, Slow.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I remember giving Brad a couple pep talks to get out there and ask a girl to dance.
Oh yeah, of course.
Did he do it?
Shit, I'm still just as awkward. Yeah.
I still have a raging boner.
I still have a rage. What's it like to be with a woman, guys? I hope I hit puberty soon.
You may hope for ED if the raging boner doesn't go away. We get the next album. We got Bitch, not album. Next song, Bitch by Meredith Brooks, aka
that's
Alanis
cool
Morissette.
Yeah, trying to be.
Right.
Another classic, Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind. Played this song at an open mic set once. Nick and I did, and we had the part where the song, I think a lot of people know now, but back in the day, nobody really got that, and me included. The song's lyrics are quite questionable. They have a lot of drug references and sex references, and it just seems like so happy and joyful that it just glosses right over it. You don't even think about it. So
it's really interesting.
Yeah.
I think on the radio on like Q101, I think they cut out like an entire verse of that song, just because it's so
I think
disturbing.
It was like the bridge. It was like the breakdown. There's like a whole part where he talks about little red panties, and I believe they cut that whole part out.
Okay, yeah.
For reasons. Another song that came out, top song of 97, Barely Breathing by Duncan Sheik. Huh? I am barely breathing.
Oh God.
Yes.
Oh God.
Nick's had to melt down.
Ooh, for another day.
Fuck you.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, Duncan Sheik. Anyway. Yeah, Duncan. Nick's heard it. He's heard it. Duncan Sheik left the music business after this and became a fashion designer. So that's what he does nowadays. Yeah.
As long as he doesn't do music, it's fine.
Barely breathing.
Well, let's hope he stopped. So.
Awesome.
No iron lung for him. No iron lung. One of those Acme iron lungs. Like, yeah, or like from what's it called?
From the Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski.
The
Yeah.
iron lung.
Yeah.
Or My Iron Lung by Radiohead.
Oh yeah, right, yeah. All right, we got the Freshman by the Verve Pipe.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of like a haunting, catchy song.
That was a good song, and they just had that one, and that was it. You know.
Right.
I remember I had learned that on the guitar. I'll relearn it tonight, probably. Who knows? I remember one of the first songs I tried to play was the Verve Pipes, the Freshman. It's not hard, but it's still, it's a good dark little song, and yeah, you just don't hear about it. The album that I bought, one of the first albums that I bought when I was with my own money. The song is off that album. I Want You by Savage Garden. It's the Chicka Cherry Cola song.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The Chicka Cherry Cola song.
I bought that album. And then I told people I bought that album, and then I got beat up because I told people I bought that album.
Yeah.
When you're in 6th or 7th grade, you don't
beat up.
You don't tell people that you bought Savage Garden while they're listening to like Sepultura and
well, I don't know.
Cannibal
Savage
Corpse.
Savage Garden, pretty badass.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Is that the same album with I'll be your wish, I'll be your dream, I'll be your fantasy?
That is it.
Yeah.
That's on there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Guys, you sound just like
From the Moon and Back.
Thank you, Sly.
You know what I
You're
used
welcome.
What I did with this album was really cool. Cool Borders 2, this game would come out. I think it came out like next year. But I would take out Cool Borders 2 out of the PlayStation 1, put in Savage Garden CD, and you could still play the game while the CD played in the background. So I would play different tracks, and it would have different tracks on the CD play. So that's where I really remember Savage Garden. So I would have to hear like some song called Santa Monica because I really like this track in Cool Borders 2. Instead of just playing the game, I would put in CV. So I'd always have to hear that over and over again. My own choice, but yeah. Move on to No Diggity by Blackstreet featuring Dr. Dre.
Diggity.
No diggity, about to bag it up. Yeah. I like the way you work it. No diggity.
No diggity.
That's a good song.
Ooh,
That's a
is
good
that the
song.
one with that awesome piano
That
sample? The din 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 din.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Dude, that song is awesome.
That's Dr. Dre. That's all Dr. Dre. Right
Well,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. No diggity.
Yeah, that's a great song.
We got All For You by Sister Hazel. You know that song. It's got a really cool harmony parts in that song. That's what I like the most about it. And it's just like, but the guy's voice is like, finally I figured out. Oh, it took a long, long time. That's how he sings. He's got this nasally thing, but it's like it's hard.
I'm sure I've heard it.
Yeah.
See how it is. I've been with you. I can't remember the name of the song or how it goes, but yeah, I like the harmonies in it. Another song that came out in 1997. Another song that came out. Where Have All the Cowboys Gone by Paula Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where have all the cowboys gone?
Yeah, I like that song. I definitely like that song. Yeah.
It's like she's like something. Oh, where is my John Wayne? Where is my something?
Yeah. You come something. I'll get you a beer.
Yeah.
Something like that. Or
Sounds like a really
I don't know.
miserable life for this woman. She just wonders where are my cowboys?
Where have all the cowboys gone?
Right.
Yeah. There's another. I really like this song. Like Brad with his Leanne rhymes, but for me, it's "Sonny Came Home" by Sean Colvin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
And years go by and we're alive.
Yep.
I can't. Yeah.
Yep. Excellent song. It's just beat. It's excellent.
I'm getting over a cold here, so yeah.
I don't think I've heard it.
Oh, you have.
Yeah, you probably have. Yeah.
Sonny Came Home, Sean Colvin. Another song basically about a woman who's just miserable and decides to take her life into her own hands. Not taking her life, but making it better.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Taking her life into her own hands.
I was gonna say I took that differently at first.
Yeah. Sonny Came Home to Heaven. That's what it was.
Right, yeah.
All right. And the last top song of 1997, Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba. Had to put it in there. I love the intro. The beginning is some clip from a movie
singing.
where the actor is the guy who's talking. Remember in the Lost World Jurassic Park, there's the guy who's the hunter of the whole expedition. He's from like Australia.
Yeah.
He's like, and it's like,
Yeah.
so that
he gets knocked down.
yes, well, he's
Oh,
he's the
boy.
guy in the beginning of the movie or the song is like, the truth is, I thought that music mattered. I thought it mattered, that music mattered, but did it? Bollocks! Not compared to how people matter. And then it's we'll be singing, just like a completely changed. Yeah, that whole intro is that guy from Lost World.
Oh,
the
okay,
movie.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah,
He did get knocked down.
Yeah, he
but
got up.
He did
again.
not get up again.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, that's true. The
Velociraptor kept him down.
Yeah, it did.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
He took
hearing
a
that
whiskey
song.
drink.
Took a vodka drink.
He listens to songs that remind him of the good times and the bad times.
He does it all. Yeah, pissing the night away.
Johnny boy.
Right? Yeah.
God, I haven't listened to that song in a long time. I need to revisit that song. Just that song.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it's
love
a,
that song.
It's a good. It's a good little song.
That was a middle school dance staple.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
that
all
was
the
big.
all the
4-H camp one year.
Hell yeah. I remember in
Yeah.
junior high, all the fucking weird kids loved Marilyn Manson, and they wanted to play like the Beautiful
Sorry.
People or something like that. Like just
Yeah.
The kids, you're like, oh god, stay away from them.
I didn't get into Marilyn Manson until I was in high school, so
Yeah.
I wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was if there was ever a Satanic Panic, that might have made sense then, but not for Reload. Good lord. All right, we'll move on now to the worst songs of 1997. We've got Barbie Girl by Aqua.
Oh well, there you go.
There we go. It's
I
a
like
terrible
that song. It's just whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever, but terrible. It's a fucking terrible song. Faith
Hi,
cover. Hi, Bobby.
Hiya, Barbie.
Hiya, Bobby.
Oh God. Hey, Bobby.
Yeah, we're gonna go for a ride, Bobby. Yeah. I'm a Barbie girl. It's so bad.
Oh, it's
Come on, Bobby.
Yeah, come on, Barbie. Let's go party.
Let's go, Bobby.
Whatever. That song rules. So.
You can play. I'm always yours.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
Yeah.
the song, everyone.
Belt it out. Belt it out.
Yeah.
All right. Faith cover by Limp Bizkit. Terrible.
All right, let's do that one now.
Well, I guess it would be nice if I.
The biscuit.
Yeah. Like me. I think twice. Yeah. So then we got
God.
Yeah,
we're another
fucking
worst
sucks.
song. Getting Jiggy with It by Will Smith. Yeah.
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 Getting jiggy with it. I can't remember how the lyrics go to that one. I can't even
Oh
remember.
God, who could fucking care?
Who knows, dude? Who knows?
Yeah. No, 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 no. That's what I remember. Getting jiggy with it. Fucking hell. People were saying that. Your whitest white people were saying, no, we're getting jiggy with it tonight. We're hip.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Well, yeah, I mean that's why Will Smith was so popular. He was a very white black guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. He crossed that barrier, that line.
Crossed the threshold.
Yes, he did. Another worst song of 1997, Miami by Will Smith. Throwing that in there too.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Crying out loud, dude.
Miami.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Party in the city where the heat is on.
All night on the beach at the break of dawn.
Miami.
I'm
Welcome
going
to
Miami.
Mommy, or something like that. Or this lady says in Spanish. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
something in
I don't think
Spanish.
that-
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of the originals.
Everybody party all
What?
day.
Originals?
Every day.
Original what?
Isn't he one of the original rappers? Yeah, he is.
He's late 80s original rapper. Prior
Dude,
to that,
rap
you
song
had
in the 80s, man.
He has immunity,
RMDMC.
bro.
Yeah.
He has
Immunity.
immunity.
He can do whatever he
All right,
wants.
All right, fair enough.
Crying out loud.
To white people, maybe. Yeah.
Right. Got two more worst songs in 97. I'm going to save one for the last because I think it's probably the worst song in 97. But this one before that, we've got The Dip by Freak Nasty. I put my hand up on your hip.
Oh.
When I dip, you dip, you dip. You put
Oh.
your hand up
Such
on
a
my
ball.
hip.
I
When
love
dip-
that.
I wanted.
Yep. Yeah.
I was gonna say I always wanted to do. I've been saying this for years. Slam poetry type deal, like bongos, the
Yeah.
and just read
That
lyrics
song.
to the dip. You know, I put
So
my hand
fucking-
upon your hip.
Yeah, like
When I
beatnik style. Yeah.
You dip, we dip. Get me out of here.
Yeah, snap it.
Wearing like all black turtleneck, you know.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
With the little circle glasses, the like John
Yeah,
Lennon
yeah.
circular
Right.
glasses.
Cotton candy, sweet to go.
And one of those
See your
weird like
Tootsie
those flat like French poet hats or whatever
Yeah,
the fuck they
like
are.
a beret
yeah.
almost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Beret,
beret, yeah.
All right, now the worst song of 1997, which is really funny because I had just I had brought this up with Ray, who was on our last podcast. His I think his son or his daughter, one of them, his son, does this sort of thing, and we're gonna I'm gonna make Kate's voice louder in the background there. I'm just gonna
I like
make
that.
it so loud.
Stop. That
Yeah.
was so
Like,
profound.
you guys
It's
heard
like,
that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's okay.
No, like I said, I'm just gonna, what do you call it? Just make it more noticeable in the playback when I release it album.
Yeah,
so-
just
album.
cut it out and blast it really loud. Yeah.
But Ray's, I believe his son does this sometimes when they before he goes to sleep. And the song is titled "Butterfly Kisses" by Bob Carlyle. Do you remember this fucking
yeah.
song?
Yeah.
Worst song of '97.
Butterfly kisses at night.
He's like,
I'm gonna use this opportunity to take a piss because I think it's appropriate for this song.
All right, make sure you sing the song or whistle it while you're pissing.
Yeah, I will scream it in my bathroom.
I'm gonna join you
Good
in
idea.
that, Matt. I'm gonna go take a piss too.
Oh,
Right.
I'm gonna edit all this out so nobody knows where you guys went. Yeah, Butterfly Kisses. It's by some contemporary Christian guy named Bob Carlyle, who
So it's
like
a
had
Christian
like a
song.
yeah,
I didn't
like
know
a,
that was a
had like
Christian song.
not necessarily a Christian song per se, but it has Christian themes, like MXPX. You know how they're Christian.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
Right.
Bob Carlyle does this Butterfly Kisses song, and we thought it was released in '95, but I found out no, it was actually the one version that we know of is '97. You know, and it's just one of the worst songs I have ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
It's so shitty and just like over the top. You know, he just belting out this number like it's something special, but it's a really stupid song.
Yeah, it's really cheesy.
Yeah, just overwhelmingly cheesy. It's one of those songs where, you know, a guy, like it's for like a father-daughter dance at a wedding, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The song's
That's very
entire
common.
purpose is for that, and I hate that.
Right.
It's much better to have a song that
Intentionally
isn't.
made. Yeah, where they pick it and it doesn't have to do with it, but yeah. I think your mic cut out. You there?
Yep. Okay, now I'm there.
There you are. Okay.
Yeah, so that's.
I know what you mean with the intent of making it for that reason only is just really cheap and easy.
Exactly. It belittles
There's it's just like, okay.
Yeah. It just right. And people that like that just makes it feel like, well, they're just kind of like
I mean,
really
it's
bad.
not to that extreme, but it's the same thing like when Alan Jackson did like the world, where were you when the world stopped turning kind of shit, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Where they just take something and they make something out of it for profit, because he knew that these guys would use Butterfly Kisses at every fucking wedding.
So we're still talking about Butterfly Kisses, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
but all the genius it took to make that song.
Oh, I'm sorry I missed it. I was taking a piss, which is probably
Gotcha.
much more satisfying. Than
Butterfly pisses.
Yes. There it is.
Oh my God. Okay, so that will do it for songs of '97. We will now move into TV shows of 1997.
Tossed salads and scrambled eggs.
Oi. All right.
Never
all right.
gets old.
TV shows that debuted in 1997. The number one to debut in '97, easily South Park. South Park debuted
cool.
in 1997.
Nice.
Yeah.
Finally.
So I just I can't say enough about it. It's still relevant today. It's still on today. The way they do that whole entire show is insane. It's all done in a week. They cram. It's all last minute. It feels like, but they somehow pull it off. It's how they're able to stay fresh. And I don't know if it's going to be around for too much longer. Maybe 3 or 4 years left, maybe. But
they're still going with it.
They're still going with it.
Oh
now,
yeah. It's
they've had like
crazy.
pandemic specials and stuff like that, and hour and a half long. They're talking about they've got like 3 movies now in the mix. Now they're going to be bringing those back. So South Park's going to be around for a little bit, but it's still amazing. 1997 when it debuted, I was completely unaware of any of it. All the cool kids in junior high were wearing South Park T-shirts and talking about South Park, and I was no idea about any of it. Go on, Brad.
Oh, I don't know how. I mean, we didn't have cable growing up, but it must have been a little bit later, maybe a few years after South Park had debuted, and there were like VHS tapes, and each one would have 2 episodes on it, like at the video stores in Valpo.
Oh, nice.
And I remember, yeah, the very first episode was Cartman gets an anal probe. That was the very first episode.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
we would rent these tapes because my dad didn't give a shit. And at the beginning of each episode, it would be Trey Parker and Matt Stone would introduce the episode, and they'd always say like, "Oh, this is Cartman gets an anal probe. It's our favorite episode," and they would do that for every episode.
Yeah.
And I remember my dad just cracking up at that. Like after like 2 or 3 different tapes at the beginning of every episode, they're like, "It's our favorite episode." So yeah, that's how I got into South Park, was the VHS tapes that were released at some point.
I never got to watch South Park at home. I watched South Park for the first time at a friend's house when I was younger, and the first episode I watched was on TV. Like I had to catch it while it was on TV. It was it the Underpants Gnomes?
Oh,
episode.
Nice, classic.
That was the first episode that I watched, and I just remember it's like cartoon swearing and a cartoon character dying in it in a gory way, and them just not caring about it. I just thought it was really funny. I loved it. And then of course the South Park game for Nintendo 64, and all that. So that was my introduction for South Park.
I think I don't recall like when it was when I first watched it, because like I said, everyone I knew when I was like friends with had seen, "You watched South Park last night?" They all had Comedy Central and stuff. We didn't have any of that, so I never got to watch it. But honestly, I remember renting it from Netflix, just starting from season 1 and watching it all the way, like as much as I could.
Nice.
Yeah. And
back
so
when Netflix was
delivered
DVDs to you,
right through the mail. So I did South Park and Danger Mouse were the first 2 ever that I rented. And South Park, I just remember watching the first episodes and seeing Trey Parker and Matt Stone in like nice sweaters and turtlenecks sitting around like a tree with like their dog.
Yeah.
And just like being this real cheesy, like the whole thing. And God, I think I actually watched movie Basketball before I watched an episode of South Park, oddly enough. I don't remember watching too much South Park, but yeah, I did a lot when I was, obviously when I got a little bit older.
Yeah, but that's what I was talking about. Yeah, they would like introduce the episode and they'd be like dressed really nice.
Yep.
And say like, "This is our favorite episode."
Yeah, and there was one about bacon. They love bacon. They went all crazy about bacon for like an entire episode. Or it was just all bacon stuff, related things, clothing. I don't know. Anyway, South Park, brilliant show. Not a carbon copy of The Simpsons, which was refreshing. Can't say that for every show, but for sure, 2 brilliant guys. Everything they do, they win awards at everything they do. If it's on Broadway, they win Tonys. If it's in the movies, they win Emmys. It's just, or Oscars. At TV show, they win Emmys. So it's just they're just 2 brilliant fellas, and luckily they decided to use their talents to make this show. So move on now to another show that debuted in 1997, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That debuted in 97. Didn't
Never
really watch
watched
it, but I've heard
No.
a lot of good things. People really like that show. It's not for me. I think I didn't even care for Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie.
I hate that show.
Or Sly hates the show.
There you
So
go.
there we go. Another show that debuted in '97. Oz. Oz debuted in '97.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was a great show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stargate SG1 debuted in '97. King of the Hill debuted in '97.
Nice.
Ooh,
That's a great show.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I actually just watched how Mike Judge, he was on like the Howie Mandel show. He was talking about how that all came up to be, like the King of the Hill characters, and him and his wife were living like outside of Dallas, and he was trying to like put in a new fence post or something like that. And he said there was always these 4 guys that were outside their house just drinking beer. And he says this guy
There you
walks
go.
over to him, just uninvited, just walks over to him, seeing him like trying to work this fence. And he's like, "Oh, you're doing that all wrong. What you got to do is this."
All right.
And he just does the whole thing. He does, Hank Hill
Yeah.
perfectly. And then he brings in someone else who's another character on the show, basically starts talking. And he goes, and all of a sudden he said, all of the rest of the guys, they just come over to where I'm at. And they just start like, they pull like a wheelbarrow, they get like cement, and they just start like putting in the fence for me. And he's like, realizes like, I'm useless here. So I go back in the house, and my wife and I watch these neighbors just build our fence for us. And so that's kind of like the genesis for King of the Hill.
Right.
Yeah.
I love how that show is like satire of like Southern conservative culture.
Uh-huh.
But then there's some people that are from like that culture that watch the show and relate to it and don't realize it's satirical, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the better animated shows that's ever came out. So yeah,
I
King
love
of the
how
Hill.
he just can't tell his son that he loves him. That's so hilarious to me. It pains him to have to tell his own son that he loves him.
Isn't Bobby like listening to like some music and it's like a Tool song, and he like puts on, or is that like a made up thing?
That's a made up thing. He's
That's like a
listening to
meme,
like
yeah.
it was like sound effects or like a prank call audio cassette thing, like a Jerky Boys sort of thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's just like it had like it's like pretending to be an old lady or something about the toilet, and there's fart noises and he's like, what does he say? He's like, my God, it's all just toilet sounds or something like that.
Yeah, he thinks it's like the new music of the generation.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on.
What you listening to, son?
Johnny Bravo debuted in '97. Ally McBeal debuted in '97. Dharma and Greg, if you remember that show.
Yeah.
God.
No, I don't remember that.
Family Guy had a funny joke about that back when Family Guy was funny, like the first
Still good.
season.
Yeah.
Dharma and Greg are basically like the Peter's watching it, and Dharma's on top of like the coffee table.
Right.
Greg is like, Dharma, come down from there.
Oh yeah.
Wow, I can't believe how free of a spirit you are. This is crazy. She's like, there's nothing, out of the ordinary. So, Daria was released in '97. Debuted in '97. Daria.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Daria is an animated show for MTV in the same vein as kind of like Beavis and Butthead era.
It's like some hipster.
Yeah, some
like hipster.
Oh, some hipster bullshit.
like a hipster chick, kind of like with like the personality of like Darlene from Roseanne or Wednesday Addams. Real sarcastic.
All right.
Doesn't like or April Ludgate from Parks and Rec. That's basically that's the character. The anime Berserk was released or debuted in '97. TV show Just Shoot Me was debuted in '97 with David Spade. If you guys remember this, the made-for-TV movie The Odyssey debuted in '97. I remember watching that whole thing. You remember watching that, Sly? Yeah.
Yes.
The Odyssey. I watched that whole thing. I loved it.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the epic poem?
Yep.
By Homer?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. No, I did not see that.
Yeah, it was quite good. I really, really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Very faithful to the epic poem. It's quite an epic
cool
movie, TV movie. series. I think it's 2 parts or something like that. So
Yes.
Well, yeah, it was like a mini series. It'd be 2 nights. Yeah, grab the popcorn.
See if we got 4 more shows that debuted in '97. 4 more. The Angry Beavers debuted in '97. The Angry Beavers.
Love that show.
Yeah,
that's a great show.
Yeah,
definitely worth watching today.
Must have been on cable. I don't.
Is that Nickelodeon?
Nickelodeon, yeah.
Yep.
I
was a sheltered child.
Except for those violent sci-fi movies.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, you get
except
to
for all the
watch
violent
Starship
movies. Yeah. So was not sheltered at all. Yeah.
Just didn't have cable.
Right.
Didn't have cable. Yeah. Yep.
Another show that debuted in '97, Pokemon, the animated Pokemon.
Yes.
Ooh,
yeah.
What a great theme song, dude.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes. One of the greatest theme songs ever, I think.
Ever.
I think
I love that show.
Ash just retired, so he had a long career, and he's
no one ever
was it 26 years, almost 25 years. Yeah. Ash is 35 years on that. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh yeah, he was doing it for a while, and he never aged.
No.
Did he age? I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know. That Brock character never opens his eyes.
yeah, he's just
just always like
squinted the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, another this debuted on HBO. It's an animated series. Spawn, the animated series Spawn, which I'd actually seen. Ray had some on VHS. The Spawn series. I think he had like the first season or something. We used to quote that from time to time. There's some really weird dialogue readings.
Yeah,
I'm not
didn't
sure.
you show me some of the dialogue from that, Chris?
Yes, that's the one. Yep.
Yeah,
so,
what was it? Do you remember?
Yeah, of
I
course,
can't
of course.
remember
So
what it was.
they're in the alley, right?
Yes,
and
okay,
something goes wrong, and it's like a meeting between 2 cops and someone else. I can't remember. Maybe it was anyways, shit's going down, and this guy gets a gun pressed against his head, and he's like, "Oh God." But it's like really creepy, weird, like faded sort of, "Oh God." And he's like, "God ain't here, boy." He's like, "I'll take the message." He says it like that.
Yep, that's
and I was like,
yeah.
why did he read it like that? That's fucking weird and creepy.
Yeah, you shown me that for some reason.
God ain't here, boy.
Yeah.
Take the message. So he used to say that to each other in that way.
God ain't here, boy.
You know, and it's just such a creepy. Yeah, it's not good. But yeah, Spawn. That was also debuted in '97, and VH1's Behind the Music debuted in 1997.
Yeah, I saw. I mean, I didn't have cable, but I remember somehow getting my hands on some of those episodes for like bands that I was into.
Oh yeah, they had a Creed one too. That was good.
Yeah, they released them on DVD, I believe, like 1 episode per DVD.
That's right, they did. Yeah, it was a good show. It was really informative, and it was nice. Like, and just when things were looking up, the clouds up ahead turned dark. You know, and just go to commercial. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Top 10 TV shows of 1997 for basic TV. The number 1 show, Seinfeld. It was announced that the year after the season was going to be its last season. So Seinfeld immediately shot up to number. It was like number 2 anyway. It was not number 1. It was number 2. Number 2 this year was ER. Number 3.
Oh, right.
Veronica's Closet. Yep. Number 4 was Friends.
Woo!
Yeah.
You better watch your mouth.
Oh God. Acquaintances. I like that show better.
Friends with benefits. I want to see the benefits.
Where are the benefits?
Yeah.
That was on Showtime late at night.
Actually, there was a British version, a UK TV of Friends. It was called Coupling, I believe. Where they got like showed them like getting it on, but not like showed them, but like they had like sex scenes in like stalls with like banging on like the walls and stuff. That was much more, I wouldn't say graphic, but just much more risque than Friends for the American version.
Right.
Number 5 was Touched by an Angel.
Oh, one of the greatest shows of all time.
Oh yeah. When you walk down the road,
why do you?
Every bird. Our mom used to watch that fucking show every time.
Yeah, but apropos of nothing, you guys broke out into the theme song at the same time.
We have it's just a telepathic thing.
All right, I see. It's a brother thing.
Yeah. she would just watch that. It just every episode was the same goddamn thing. Every fucking episode, and it's always like, God loves you.
Yeah.
God loves you.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and then it's just at the end, God does love me. God loves you. And you
Right.
walk down the road.
Yeah,
It's just over and
And your
over.
mom,
Shining.
your mom has a box of Kleenex and she's wiping
Yeah.
tears from her
Oh, yeah,
and a
eyes
yeah.
at the end of
blanket
every
with
episode.
a bowl of ice cream or chips or something
Yeah,
else to
there you
snack
go.
on.
Yep.
She'll-
Lights were
Would
off.
your-
She was laying
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
couch.
Would your
Don't
dad
tell-
ever be like,
He wasn't.
man, now
Even,
that's a good show?
no, he would never. He wouldn't even be in
Nah.
the room. He's playing a
No.
video game somewhere or something
Right.
like that, or doing
No.
something else. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
In the bedroom playing the video
Yeah.
game.
Sounds like
Yep.
my parents.
Another
It does. Yeah.
Monday Night Football was next. Show called Union Square was after that. 60 Minutes made it into the top 10 for 97. 60 Minutes. The number 9 CBS Sunday movie, which was
Whoa,
I'm
was it?
pretty sure was the Odyssey, but I could be
Yeah.
wrong.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think it's just, remember, it's just that, right? It's just the Sunday movie that
Yeah,
everyone
it's just
tunes
whatever
into.
the movie is.
Whatever
Oh,
the
the
movie
Sunday
is.
movie.
Everyone
Yeah.
get the family, grab the popcorn,
Right.
settle in.
Yeah, because I think Odyssey was on NBC. I could be. I think it was NBC.
Ooh,
Yeah, it was just whatever movie
competing
was
time
that
slot.
Sunday.
And number 10 was Home Improvement. Home Improvement was for TV shows
Hey,
of
good for them.
97. Yeah.
Garbage.
Worst TV shows to debut in 1997. The Teletubbies debuted in 97.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
The View debuted in 97.
What?
Yeah.
That long ago?
Yep.
The original
Holy shit.
podcast.
The View. Right.
Was it with all the same women?
Bob
No.
Walters was there, but I don't remember
Barbara
anyone
Walters.
else. Yeah, I don't remember who else was there.
This
Rose-
Babs
was
It
there.
wasn't Rosie O'Donnell because Rosie O'Donnell had her own talk show.
Oh, of course.
But-
yeah, I remember
yeah,
that.
But The View was 97. That's when that started.
Wow.
Another
Didn't know it was that old.
the worst show of the debut in 97. Smart Guy, which was
Oh, Jesus.
you remember that show? It
I
was,
remember that
fucking
show, yeah.
ridiculous. It was the twins from Sister. It was their little
Yeah.
brother, and
Right,
he was
right.
like this really smart little kid, but he still needed his parents. It was on, I think it was on Disney or something. It's a shitty fucking show. Smart
Yeah,
guy.
He was
God,
so
that
smart that
sounds
he was like,
horrible.
well, he went to high school.
Right.
He was supposed to be in elementary, but he went to high school.
And it's got that really horrible Disney humor where it's
Super
all
smart.
wholesome and
Right, yeah,
there's
high school.
nothing remotely dangerous about any episodes. You know, you can feel free to
Right,
walk
yeah.
away from the TV and let us do the parenting.
Right.
Yeah. Number 4, worst TV show debut in 1997, Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation. That's the live action Ninja Turtles where they brought in a female Ninja Turtle for reasons.
What?
Ooh, I vaguely remember something about that back then.
I have no idea. I've never heard of this.
Yeah, I wanted to watch
How
that.
dare they?
I thought it was going to be good. It wasn't. It was terrible. Yeah. And then we have to round it out here, Conan the Adventurer, which was the try to cash in on the Hercules Xena hype that had been going on. We got to have another one of these. Conan the Adventurer lasted barely a season and it was over. And that one, those are my worst TV shows of 1997. And now we will move into video games released in the U.S. in 1997. All right. And for the PlayStation, I'm just going to start off with this one. One of the greatest games of all time, hands down, hugely influential. I don't know itself. You know how like Pepsi, as a brand, and it's got like Mountain Dew, which is almost as popular as Pepsi itself. So if you have like a brand, so this would be like the Mountain Dew. This would be like the Mountain Dew of a sort of thing. For the PlayStation on September 7th, Final Fantasy VII is released.
Yeah, I knew it.
Oh,
yeah.
here we go.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, yeah, it's amazing.
The music is beyond incredible. It's an easy way to get me drawn into a video game is if you have amazing music, and
Yeah,
I
mean,
challenge you to find better music in any gaming, anywhere than Final
It's quite
Fantasy.
possibly the greatest RPG ever made.
Yeah,
easily.
Never played it.
Yeah, it's beyond worth it. it's absolutely worth to play it. It's a fantastic game from top to bottom. Nintendo really missed out when they when they stuck with cartridges. This is the reason they didn't have Final Fantasy VII on the 64 because it couldn't handle it. So,
oh dang,
yeah, Final Fantasy VII was released. I remember seeing a clip for this game, just seeing like this. What do you call it? Like not the VOD, but like the what do you call it? Like the video play of what like what's going on, like in the game.
Like a cut. Oh,
kind of like a cutscene,
like
but it's a FMV.
The gameplay.
FMV.
Oh,
is that right?
No,
Full
it would just be
motion
like a cutscene.
Yeah, basically like that. And at the movie place, the movie rental place in Walmart, they had a movie rental place in Walmart, and we were there trying to rent for a movie or a video game. And I'm looking at games being released, and I see that, and I'm thinking that game looks like garbage. I will never play that. Who the hell would ever play that game? That game looks lame as hell. Boy, I was wrong. So not only was I would struggle to find a more influential game of the past. I mean, it's just as influential. It reaches all different aspects of gaming. It's I mean, you just can't say enough good things about it. From the advanced story, from the changing from where the Final Fantasy was prior to this first futuristic game where it dealt with not only like environmental causes and such, that have like actual real world implications, stuff like that, what they're getting at in the game. Everything about it was just top to bottom the best.
For sure.
I can't
it's
say enough
timeless.
about it.
It's a timeless video game. I could play this game 30 years from now when I'm 60.
Right.
And I'd still enjoy it just as much as I did today.
By the way, everyone, in case you guys didn't know, it's Nick's birthday today.
That's
Nick's
true.
birthday.
Shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Should we sing happy birthday to him?
Right.
31.
Yes,
There we
yes,
go.
Fuck you guys. God damn it.
1, 2, 3.
It's a Brad's
Happy birthday
Jesus
to
Christ. What's happening?
you.
Guys? Pick it up.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday,
Mr.
dear
President.
Happy birthday to you.
Incredible.
You.
Good
All
job,
right.
guys.
Thank you.
Yeah,
there we
thank
go.
you.
There we go.
Wow.
Happy fucking birthday.
So 30? Is that the age?
31.
31. Oh, 31. Oh man, that's even worse.
Yeah, that's even worse.
Right. I'm in it.
I
now.
wonder if
I'm in it.
anyone will respect our musical choices now after that.
Oh god, I can't.
No.
I'd be surprised if
No,
they respected us right now.
Everyone, nobody is listening now. Everyone shut it off. Now.
I'm gonna watch the just drop. It's gonna spike.
We might as well just cut
Retention
it now and
drop.
just end it.
Yeah. Cut our losses. Final Fantasy VII, though, like I said, can't say enough good things about it. It's an amazing game, phenomenal series, one of the best ever, and you should definitely play it. All right.
Absolutely.
For the PlayStation, on October 2nd, Castlevania Symphony of the Night was released. 97 is an amazing year for games, man. I mean, really, top to bottom. This next one is one of the greatest first-person shooters of all time. All time. It was released on August 25th.
All time.
For the Nintendo 64, GoldenEye 007.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
oh, man.
You were Odd Job, you had an advantage.
Right? Yeah.
You were so short, and the aiming in that game was fucking hard, dude.
It just.
I remember that game brings back a memory with my little brother and my dad. My dad would love to play us all on. I think it was like a 4-player game or something like that.
Yeah.
And we would all lose. My little brother would get in there and play with us, and he would always play oddball or the little short guy.
Job. Yeah.
Odd job. And he would constantly win. My dad would get so mad that he actually ended up kicking my little brother off the game because he was using that character just because it was an easier way to win.
Yep. Certainly is.
Go sit in the corner.
Odd Job with the golden gun is the most OP shit in that whole game.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I remember doing with my brother and sister. We would do slappers only, so it's just just the karate chops all the time, trying to kill each other.
DK mode, huge heads.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, there
DK
was
mode.
that too. Yep. All
Oh
the
my
cheats.
God.
Yeah.
The game is so much better than the movie.
Oh yeah. Oh for sure.
Yeah, the movie was really good too, I thought.
Dude, the movie that was the. I remember watching GoldenEye with Baller, right? And I think it was like at the end when the plane goes off the runway down the mountain, off the mountain.
That's at the beginning.
That's the beginning. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So I was watching it with him, and the plane's going off the edge. And then James Bond is following it on a motorcycle, goes off the edge as well, gets in the plane, brings it back up, right? And I turned to Baller and I was like, "That's fucking impossible," you know. And Baller is like, "No, dude, no, that can happen. That can happen.
Dude, that's James Bond, man.
Right,
He can do it.
Yeah. If you're James Bond, it's totally feasible, right? I think the multiplayer, amazingly enough, everyone knows this now, was a last-minute feature added to the game. It wasn't even going to include multiplayer. If it didn't, we wouldn't remember it at all.
Wow. Yeah.
Or not very fondly.
Yeah, I guess not, because I played through the whole single-player thing. I remember, because there were like 2 unlockable levels at the end. If you beat the game on like Secret Agent or Special Agent or whatever, you unlock extra levels at the end.
Right.
I remember getting so fucking pissed and throwing the controller because I couldn't beat like some levels, getting all those objectives done.
But the multiplayer was where it was at, though.
Yes, exactly.
For sure.
The game itself was kind of just frustrating. I don't know. It was still, at the time, it blew my mind because the guards would like scratch their crotches and you'd shoot them and they'd be like, "Oh no, don't kill me," and stuff like that. It's like, whoa, this is really realistic.
Oh man.
And another game where I just thought the graphics couldn't get any better.
Right.
Oh, dude, that's how it always was back then. It's like, there's no way they could make graphics better than this.
Yeah.
It's lifelike. It's lifelike. Look at them with their square heads and their fisted hands that can't open or do anything. They're just like this.
They're hooved.
Yeah, they're like hooved. Yeah.
Oh man. I just hours upon hours. If you had a 64 with 4 controllers and GoldenEye, you're set. You and your friends, your cousins, or whoever you're playing with, your brothers and sisters, they could not have more fun in '97 than doing that. It's just a great game. It was Game of the Year like 2 years in a row, which is insane. So
Holy shit, really?
GoldenEye 007, fantastic. I remember playing that at Walmart. Had like those demos you could try.
Yeah.
And I would play the GoldenEye, play Mario Kart, all that stuff. So.
All those demos where you had the controllers sticking out and your neck craned back all the way to stare up at the screen that's like 10 feet above you for some reason. Yeah.
As funny as that, I can tell just by your voice that you did it physically, just did what you were talking about.
Oh, yeah. Well, you could have seen it on the webcam, too. It's like, you're playing like this.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. All right, we'll move on now. For the PC on October 10th, Fallout was released. First Fallout.
I never played it.
Yeah, I never played it.
Yeah. I haven't played it either, but I know the significance of that series. So,
right. Was that like top down then?
Yeah, I believe so.
Or like 2D side scroller?
Yeah, it was something that it was mostly like text based, I believe. Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
For PC on December 9th, Quake 2 was released. Quake 2. Another big game. Which I mean, still with Quake 2 and its first-person shooter, is great. GoldenEye still took it from even Quake 2, and that was a PC game. So, another game for the 64 that came out, the N64, on June 30th, 1997. Star Fox 64 was released. That's when I played a fuck ton.
Oh yeah.
What's that?
Dude,
fucking
that game
frog
was so awesome.
Slippy,
yeah.
Fuck that frog. I hated Slippy. Always hated Slippy.
And then the bunny, I forget the bunny's name. Do a barrel roll.
Oh, right.
That was the thing. I mean, it was a thing that happened in the game that became a meme like 20 years later for some reason. Yeah.
I used to play that game as much as I could on the demo in
that was great.
In Walmart demo. For the arcade.
Again, my little brother would always be on the ground destroying everyone. Everyone's in their planes and shit, and he would be on the ground. Little punk.
Oh yeah, are you talking about the multiplayer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could be like a tank, or you could be a tank, or you could be a plane, or something like
Or
that.
you can run. You can run on the ground.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. I don't think I played
Something
much
like
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the multiplayer was a bit like varied like that.
For the arcade, classic arcade, it came out this year. Makes its way to consoles next year, but NFL Blitz.
Ooh, yeah.
Dude, Blitz was
Oh, that's
so
so
fucking fun.
I love that game.
Like, I'm not into like sports games, but like an arcade sports game like that, or NBA Jam, or Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey, like where it's like
And
ridiculous.
It's a close game all the time because they make sure of that.
Yep. I hated that. Hated it.
Dude, Blitz was so awesome because after the play was over, you could continually like smash into your opponents after the play was over.
Yeah.
Just like suplex them or pile drive them or whatever was in that game. And man.
There was one year when they tried to add like a franchise mode to that game where you would like go through years and years. And I remember like when a player got hurt, you had like the option of like shooting steroids in them and shit.
Sounds right. Yeah.
It was awesome, man. It was cool.
Great. Was that the game where your player gets injured, the ambulance comes out onto the field?
Oh no, that was Madden 94, 95.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was hilarious. Yeah, if you guys didn't know about that, there's
so
videos of this where your player would get injured in like 94, Madden 94, 95, and he'd be on the field. And he'd be like, call out the ambulance. And all the players are standing around the other player. And the ambulance would come out on the field and run over all the other players.
Yeah.
And they would make the noise. And it's just, So they run over every player, get to the injured player, and then run them over again on their way out. Oh, it's so ridiculous.
Which happened in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a video back about that.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. All right, for the N64, which had a huge year, 97, November 24th, Diddy Kong Racing was released.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
On March 4th, for the N64, Turok Dinosaur Hunter was released.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That was great.
So,
another great game.
Real quick here, one of the first times I remember going over to Sly's house was when they were playing this game. It was like, are you coming and sit in? I don't know anybody there really, except for the person I'm with. And I'm sitting down and I'm watching them all play, Sly and his brothers, and maybe one other person. They were playing Turok, Dinosaur Hunter, and his younger brother was like the monkey or something like that. And he had to shoot the monkey or take down the monkey. And so Tony is his name. He's running around and he's just like, he's impossible to shoot. He's impossible to hit. He had like a couple arrows in his ass, and that was it. I remember laughing at the fact that he had 2 arrows in his ass as he's running around, and I'm just watching him getting madder at Tony because he can't get hit. It just always causing problems, that Tone. Yeah.
A common theme. He was always the better one at games, huh?
For the PlayStation,
or he exploited them,
right? On September 30th. For the PlayStation, Bushido Blade was released. Square Enix game, or Squaresoft at that point. Yeah, a very fun game. That game was hard as hell because, I mean, you had one hit and you were dead. Yeah, if you got struck with a sword, you were dead. So like, eat your soul. What is it? Dark Souls. Yeah, eat your heart out. So,
I don't know about that.
I know, but on April 4th, for the N64, Doom 64 was released on April 4th.
Yeah, actually. That's actually a really good game. I have it on PC because they actually I have Turok, the first Turok on PC too because
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's on Steam. Like they ported it over. So
nice.
Yeah, Doom 64 is really good.
Oh yeah. I wasn't allowed to play it, but I've heard good things.
I mean, I remember playing it as a kid and not having any idea of what to do, like where to go, like how to figure out puzzles and shit. So
yeah.
But, you know, I played it somewhat recently. It's like, oh, yeah, this isn't that bad. Has a really good atmosphere.
Yeah, I love Doom games.
All right, we got one more game now for released in 1997, not 2000. In 1997, for the PC and the PlayStation, on November 24th, Tomb Raider 2 was released. Yeah, I remember that. The infamous nude code was all the rage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the nude code. You guys know the nude code? And they were very funny about it. I think it was Acclaim Midway made the game. Or Eidos. Might have been them. Anyway, whatever developer company that made Tomb Raider 2, they put in cheat codes, and one of the cheat codes they said was nude code. And so you push that button combination in, and the end of it was Lara Croft jumping, and when she jumps, she explodes. So it was actually her.
That's funny.
She just blows up, and that was the quote unquote nude code. So very funny. I thought it was pretty good. Disappointed. I was disappointed, but you know, I'll take her blowing up. That was funny too.
Trolling you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the only Tomb Raider game that I've watched and or played as much as Tomb Raider 2. That was the one. And like,
Sounds like you're in water.
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Does anyone else hear that?
What?
Sounds like I'm in water.
All of your voices sound horrible right now.
Oh, really?
Okay, go on.
Might just be the connection. I don't know.
No, you guys all sound fine on my end. That's usually what.
Yeah, you guys all
on
sound
mine.
fine to me. So
Same on this end as well.
Okay. All right. It's probably my end still.
It's your phone. So yeah, I don't know. Tomb Raider 2, just I loved it. I think I was talking with the last podcast with John when there's one episode, it was before the internet, before we knew we had walkthroughs and all that stuff. We had no idea what to do. And it was just a guess. Just let go from this edge, drop into the abyss, and hold X in the hope that you can hold on to some edge. And it worked. And that was actually how you passed it. And it was crazy. That will do it for. Oh, unless you guys have something to add, we'll get to the worst game and be done.
Video games, huh? No.
Anything to add to the ones that we had already mentioned?
No,
not particularly.
I don't think so.
All right, then. We will now move on to the worst video game of 1997. And it was released for the PlayStation, the PC, and the Sega Saturn on February 28th for the PlayStation and the PC, and on March 12th for the Sega Saturn. The Crow, City of Angels was released. The gameplay style is similar to a traditional six-directional side-scrolling beat-em-up, viewed from an isometric perspective. All objects and characters are 3D polygonal models imposed over 2D pre-rendered backgrounds, which always works well. The Crow City of Angels was almost universally panned upon its release. The PlayStation version had a game ranking score of 23.5%. Critics widely praised the 3D rendered backgrounds, agreeing that they were both technologically cutting edge and lent a moody, haunting atmosphere to the game. However, esteem for the visuals was outweighed by criticism of the controls, which reviewers found suffered from delayed responsiveness and made it difficult to make the player face the desired direction. Most found that the frequent changing of the fixed camera angles and poor collision detection added to the confusion and frustration of the basic gameplay. Some critics additionally felt that the beat-em-up genre as a whole was too limited by the standards of the current gaming generation. Jeff Kitts from GameSpot explained, "There are no objectives, tasks, or missions to complete. Just walk around and punch bad guys. Big fun." Note the sarcasm. The voice clips, though regarded as a lesser issue, were generally ridiculed, and as featuring weak dialogue, mediocre acting, poor quality production, and a limited selection of clips, which leads to multiple enemies repeating the same lines. Colin Williamson commented in PC Gamer US that the clips sound like they were recorded by programmers screaming into a $5 Radio Shack microphone. According to Scary Larry of GamePro, this dark, moody game may appeal to certain Gen Xers looking for a slow-paced, violent game. The rest of us, however, are going to be turned off by the awkward, choppy movements of the sprites, asinine gameplay, and horrible graphics. Sega Saturn's magazine Lean Nutter said it was not a bad effort of a game by Acclaim's usual standards, but certainly not a wise purchase. Williamson called it the worst movie license fighting game since Accept No Mercy. A Game Revolution reviewer, remember that website? A Game Revolution reviewer went on to say, "The Crow City of Angels is one of the worst titles I've ever seen. Avoid all contact with this game." IGN rated it the game 1.0 out of 10, their lowest possible score. Next Generation critics said the game's problems were so great that it seemed nowhere near the end of its development cycle. EGM named The Crow City of Angels both worst movie to game and worst intro to in their 1998 video game buyer's guide. They acknowledged that the opening cinematic had some cool graphic effects, but said the unintentionally humorous dialogue, poor lip syncing, and awkward, over-exaggerated animation were enough to merit the worst title. It was included among the 100 worst games of all time by GamesRadar in 2014. Yes. The Crow, City
Good
of Angels.
Lord.
Yeah, it looks like garbage.
It
I'm watching
looks-
gameplay of it.
Yeah. Horrible. Looks horrible.
It's like trying to be like Resident Evil, I guess, like with the pre-rendered backgrounds and
Right. That's the impression I got.
Man,
It's just
it just
really
looks-
bad.
It looks clunky, just super clunky, and ugh, I don't even want to watch it.
All right. Well, that'll do it, I guess. Then, yeah, that'll do it for 1997.
Holy shit!
We are finally through with 1997. We'll move on to 1998. Got some special things planned for 98, so look forward to that.
Definitely gonna be a good time.
Thank you guys for joining me again. Thank you, Sly. Hopefully we get to hear back from you. You'll be able to join us again for another installment. And with that, I hope you enjoyed listening to our conversation, and will join us again for History with Hersefat. Don't forget to hydrate, exercise, and to like and subscribe to the podcast. All these things are essential for your health and well-being. Take care of yourselves and each other.